Because technically, this is. I mean, I don't really care. I'm gonna keep talking, but this is technically the first stream within your
Yep. New man
crib.
cave. Almost set up.
Brand new spot.
What's up, man?
Same
What's up?
ugly ass fool. Hey, yo, it's Hawaiian Fridays.
It's Friday, man. I've been busy as hell moving into the new house, working,
Busy,
moving
man.
in, setting the man
Busy
cave
now.
up. It's almost done. All I gotta get is I'm putting a TV stand under here for the it's really a console stand. So I'll have my Xbox, like my soundbar under there, and then I got a couch I ordered. So,
How close is that gonna be?
yeah, but my couch is on back. What do you mean?
Right, the TV stand just looks like that's kind of like
It
a
seems
pretty.
it's the angle. It's not really there. Like,
Oh, okay.
I can't even touch the wall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a lot
It's-
farther out than it
yeah.
is.
It's the angle.
That's a nice
Yeah.
angle, though. Not gonna lie.
It's
That's
like
a pretty good fucking backdrop angle.
yeah.
Just saying. I
And
don't
the
know.
couch I ordered is it's like an electronic reclining couch. It's a 2-seat couch with it's like kind of like a leatherish, not really leather, but it's like I don't even know what the material. You'll come over and see it obviously.
Is that like a center console kind of thing, or is it just
I was
like
gonna
a?
get the one with the center
like a-
console, but the problem is with the space in here, it would make it really tight. So I opted out for the center console to make it a little bit smaller, to fit the space better. And
It
realistically,
would have been kind of dope, though.
it would have been
Just
dope,
for like
but
storage, especially if you're gonna have your
controllers,
PlayStation,
you know.
and then if you get an Xbox too, then you have both of those. You can
But I'm
put
gonna have
stuff.
a coffee, like a small coffee, like a probably that big coffee table.
Really, you
in
didn't
front of
even
the
get a
couch.
coffee table. You really should just get small side tables.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have space. You'll see when you come over, but I'm really not. Because the way the room is set up is this: the wall that the TV is on is the long wall, right?
Oh, okay.
So I'm on the
So
my
your desk is
setup on the
already
short
here
wall, and
on
it's
the long
already-
wall, or taking the middle of the
Yeah,
long
it's
wall. Okay.
going towards the middle of the room. So the couch is basically going to be next to the desk, which is a little walkway right here next to the desk to get into my desk, and then to get around to the front of the couch. And then so the couch is going to be you're going to be able to see it on the camera, like because it'll be underneath the sign.
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
going this way.
That'd be kind of fresh though, when podcasting, having that behind.
And then when
missing the
when
upper man,
inevitably
it's a
we
darker,
do the
but-
podcast here, because I'm going to order the nicer camera and another mic, and we'll set up. That's why I'm doing a coffee table. Is we'll set up both mics on the coffee tables, and then
That's
we'll
true.
just have one
Yeah.
camera facing both of us over there.
Oh, that's good.
That'd be chill. But yeah, it's coming along good. I actually hung up the TV in the living room today, the 82 inch.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that bitch was heavy as fuck.
Did you do it by yourself, or did you have some help?
The guy that helped me move the couch in here, I called him and I paid him a little bit of money
Oh,
to
okay.
come help me put
Yeah.
it up.
No, I mean I don't care. I was just curious because that's.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
even
no,
know if
but
I'd
it
want
was-
to risk that,
I
bro.
hung
Just
up
for the
the-
sake of like my luck, I dropped something. Even if I
Well,
could do it, I would make it hard to
Bro,
do.
this one I did by myself and it was hard. This is 75 inches.
Well, because it's wide.
Yeah.
You have to have a long ass
like,
wide,
it was
wingspan
really hard
to
for
be
me
able to.
grab it, so I had to grab it at like the top corner like this, and then like this to hang it up because I couldn't reach the corners. My wingspan isn't.
Although
that big.
the TV mounts are pretty nice nowadays, though.
Oh, they're
They make them
clutch.
pretty easy to put on,
You
and all the
just-
TVs are
you
matched the
just
same
like
size.
just tilt it and it just drops right in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put it in and then pull it down.
Yeah, so the living room's basically done. I'll get some more small furniture in there. The couch is huge. I actually have a picture of what it looks like right now. I don't know if my camera will pick it up well, but
Oh, that's for upstairs, though. Oh yeah, it's already up and upstairs.
yeah,
You can tell.
that's
Okay,
the living room. I gotta get a console table.
that's a
for
nice
that,
ass
too.
couch.
Yeah, huge. It's fucking huge. That's what she said. But then the bedroom, I still waiting on all the furniture for the bedroom and the couch down here, and then I gotta go buy like deck furniture because I got a huge deck. I'm like actually a huge deck, and it's elevated.
Very large deck, sturdy, long.
Sturdy
deck.
deck.
Take care of that.
I'm excited though, bro. There's a lot of cool shit. Oh, actually, you know what? The TV when it went to that screen,
Yeah.
the away screen, it actually made that more visible. You can tell what that is better now.
Yeah. Just looks good at cheesy. Fucking random ass backgrounds, but yeah, whatever. But that looks so much better because like I mean yeah, I know what it is, so I can tell it is. But if I mean someone seeing this might have a hard time trying to see what it is beforehand.
Oh yeah.
But because like it's pretty freaking dark and
Yeah.
but the lights are pretty.
Once I get the
pretty big,
once I get the Govu bulbs up, it'll be much better lit in here when it's dark. But if I turn them on right now, I guess I could go turn them on and show you, but they're like super fucking bright to the point where like you can barely even see their shit anyway.
It changes the lighting.
Camera.
Yeah.
It changes
Yeah.
so
No.
dynamically different that I'd rather just have it dim, or at least you can see the lights are there and you can see the TV behind me better without like a lot of glare.
Yeah, I wouldn't really fuck with that.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's just I did get that too. Actually, my room's kind of dark as well. I just have the Govee right here, which shines the light, and then my monitors pretty much provide the rest of the light.
Yeah, well, 3 big ass monitors definitely help. Like,
One big ass monitor definitely helps.
yeah.
Yo. No, actually not really, because I have everything in like dark mode. So the only thing that actually shines light too much off my monitor is my Word document and
That's
stuff, and I
true.
have stuff like that,
Mine's
or
actually the
when
same
I'm
way.
doing Explorer.
Google
But because
Docs,
my
Google Docs is in like regular white, and then Discord, my
Yeah.
dashboard
All
for performance
dark night
dashboard
mode.
is night mode. OBS is night mode. Obviously Discord's in full screen, so it's night mode.
But yeah, so technically, I mean, it doesn't do as much as it could. If I had everything in light mode, though, that shit would be probably way too bright.
If I just had a bunch of
Well,
Google
you could.
pages open, my shit would be glowing like a fucking beam to the moon.
No, yeah, that'd be sucking. That'd be great. All right, so I think it's time we actually get into the meat of the cast today. I think,
meat of it.
honestly, because yeah, I mean, you know, our last podcast, which was 2 weeks ago, kind of a little off schedule, and we're a little off schedule because we missed last week, but just due to moves and stuff, which isn't a big deal. But we have a lot of good stuff that we think we could talk about and kind of share about. And I'm like some of the shit's exciting because there's a lot fucking pop culture that happened, right? And then some of this is just stuff that we had from the last one. We just ran out of time, but I actually really like to because it's some interesting shit.
I also apologize for not getting my haircut. Tried today, but they were too busy, so it won't be till tomorrow. But I'm sorry about the neck beard and shit going on.
Well, I actually have it too. I just my angling's perfect.
And the cheek beard.
But yeah, I don't know that. But yeah, so I think like the first thing we should get into, because this was kind of like one thing that we missed last time, and I think it kind of helped us kick off. And I'm not going to be too much of this because I still haven't actually watched it yet, but it is on my list. I finally got HBO, so I can plug for them, but so I can actually watch it.
Yeah.
But Batman, I like this. I need to watch it because I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. You've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the new Batman, yeah. So I don't know.
have
I don't
HBO
know.
Max.
I don't know if we've actually talked about your opinion on it too much. Actually, offline, right?
Yeah.
But I guess like from my perspective, just without actually watching it, right? So this is just me perspective, and then you can actually give like the whole meat of like how you actually felt about the movie.
Yeah.
Like from what I've heard and what I've seen, like the action in it, I've heard is actually pretty good. The gentleman playing him, I can't think of his name. Do you know the actor's name?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, okay. Robert Pattinson. I've heard he was actually a pretty good Batman. Like he did do a lot better than what I expected, at least. But I think the dilemma in the movie itself was how slow the movie was sometimes, because it being a 3-hour movie, a lot of people are saying they didn't put enough content in it to be a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so my problem with DC movies is I set myself this really low expectation, right, for DC
That's
movies.
so fair, though. That's so
And
fair. Like the worst nightmares go into a DC movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
So,
not sure what you're gonna get out of it.
but the thing was that I actually really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was actually good. I thought Robert Pattinson did an amazing job. It kind of like he kind of brought like I don't know, like a somber character, like a somber presence to Batman that was kind of like I'd never seen before, which is dope.
You mean like less aggressive?
He was
Like a more, like,
Yeah,
chillaxed?
he just
No,
more,
but I mean,
no,
like-
he was just more like it. Just seemed like he was more like less emotion driven, and just like he just was there to. It seemed kind of like from the comics, almost like the Daryl would know. I'm blanking out, but like the investigator Batman. I can't remember what it's actually. Inspector Batman, I think is what it is in the comics. But no, I thought it was good though. There was definitely a lot of slow pacing in that movie where there was scenes where I feel like they were focusing more on getting like a specific cinematic shot, right?
Yeah.
Rather than focusing on
the content.
the content or adding more content to it.
Or like not necessarily, they're technically too hard focusing on the content. They're just not hard
Yeah,
enough
there
focusing on
was
the storyline with it involved.
yeah, there was just times where like there's like something going on, right, and they get like a really dope shot, and I'll give it to him. I can't remember the director's name right now, but he was getting dope shots. Like it was cool, but I feel like it was played out a little bit too much in the span of 3 hours. I feel like it was just focused on like, let me get this crazy angled shot from like over a bar counter while they're arguing like across the room behind a pool table, and you have like the
Matt
blurred
Reeves.
focus. Matt Reeves, yeah, there you go.
I had
It
to look
definitely
up,
had
it
a
actually was
it
good.
definitely had like a strong like cinematic like strength to it. Like it was different. The main thing I didn't like, and a lot of people said they actually liked it, was the way Riddler was played. I thought it was kind of like bad actually. I thought it was
Who
kind of
played the Riddler again?
Anybody knows.
Oh really? I thought it was someone big.
Mm,
I think that will. I mean, the reason most. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I forgot. This is I'm thinking. I remember seeing the video. I think one of the problems too, though, is for people who watch like the original.
'Cause, Jim
Batmans
Carrey was
with
a
Jim
crazy-
Carrey as the
yeah.
Riddler. Like that's like that's kind of like that. That's the same equivalent, in my opinion, of Joker with
You know what? You know what it felt like to me? It felt like they were trying to make the Riddler like. This is gonna sound like maybe way out of park, but I'm gonna say it anyways. It almost sounded like they were trying to make it seem like he was like a right wing like gun supporter type shit. Like they were trying to like it almost, it was like riding that line of getting political, where you could tell that they were like insinuating like people talking online about getting guns and like meeting up in a group area to like do some
Oh.
shit. And like
so it's less about like this man actually being like crazy,
being a Riddler, like no, he was
fucking
insane.
just playing games.
No, no,
yeah,
yeah,
but I
he-
mean, like, okay, so like a game.
And he was
is,
playing
and, like,
games.
and whatnot, but it was more about like he had a political agenda behind
Yeah,
it.
that's
too,
what
which
it,
kind
that's
of
what it
ruins
felt like, man. And I'm not, I don't really care, honestly. I just he
I
was
just movies would stay away from that shit though, because unless the person actually has a background of that,
yeah
it's like Riddler's influence wasn't political in the comics.
at all.
He was
Joker's
just a
wasn't
criminal
it,
who was a
yeah.
fucking meme, and yeah, Joker. I mean, obviously not. His is just he's psycho.
I just feel like it leaned a little bit like in the realm of political ideology, and I was just like, I don't really want to hear. I don't like when I come to watch a superhero movie. I don't want to fucking think about what's going on in politics. Like I don't want to think about the first thing in my head is I don't want to be like, oh, that reminds me of something I saw on the fucking news. You know what I mean? Like that's, and I realize that they do that on purpose.
No, yeah,
But the point
honestly,
is that I want to
'cause
watch a Batman
people
movie.
didn't-
I want you to remind me of a comic book. I don't want you to remind me of fucking some shit that's going on in the world. That's like the whole reason to watch movies, to escape reality. You know what I'm saying? Be in this mental state of a different universe.
especially
and-
superhero movies,
especially superhero movies.
which are fucking completely fictional. You know, it's not like you're going to something that's non-fictional and you're expecting something to be in correlation or to reality.
Yeah.
Like obviously, superhero movies are.
All in all, though, I'd say it was a good
the
movie.
opposite.
I wouldn't buy a copy of the movie. I'll say that. I wouldn't. I would recommend people watch it because it is good. I just feel like you got to kind of be patient because it's a slow 3-hour movie. That's the thing too. It's a slow.
This
The-
is like a movie
when the
you-
action is intense, like there's a car scene and there's a couple fighting scenes. It's like really intense and it's dope. But then when it's not, it's like somber as fuck. Like just slow pace, slow camera angles, slow speaking, talking. Like you'll see, you'll enjoy it. I'm not gonna spoil too much of like what happens, obviously, but I think you'll enjoy it. But
It's gonna be one of those movies that like it's a good movie to watch, but it's not something you're gonna want to be like, oh, I can't wait to go. I want to watch that movie again.
it's not like,
like, oh,
it's
I'm
not like
gonna-
Christian Bale Batman. In my opinion, he did such like they did such a good job directing that. The actor choices, the
casting.
villains, the
Yeah,
casting,
the
like
casting was great.
everything in the Christian Bale Batman movies were just so much
It's
better
on its own level.
than what's came out
That's fair.
since.
No, that's definitely a fair argument though.
I think he's a better Batman than what's his name though.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck,
Yeah, those are shit movies.
yeah. I hated Ben Affleck as
Anybody
Batman.
who thought that those were good movies is literally just either a Batman fanatic or a Ben Affleck fanatic.
Yeah, because
They're not like a true like cinematographer, like even like I feel like you can even be like a DC comic fan in that sense too, because he just didn't even fit the persona of Batman in my opinion.
Nah, yeah, I hated him as Batman.
I think a lot of people didn't even like that casting before he started making the films, before they even released the film. I don't think people like that casting. But then, on top of the fact that when the movie actually came out, a lot of people I think were very disappointed in it. At least that'd be my perspective. Gonna actually that around there like that.
If we're on the subject of comic books, bro, or comic book movies, whatever shows. Two things obviously that are huge: Doctor Strange 2 and the last episode of Moon Knight. Whichever one you want to kick off first. I know obviously you've seen both, so how do you feel about them?
Start with the disappointing but yet good one, I guess. I'll put out there. So I'm gonna say Doctor Strange to start first, and then we'll finish out with that good old Moon Knight because that was impeccable. So obviously this is gonna be super spoiler warning, at least from my perspective, because if you haven't watched it yet, because there is so much in it, definitely probably pause this, go watch it, and then come back. Which would appreciate that, but I want you to like be able to bask in the movie before you get spoilers. No one likes spoilers. But yeah, I'm gonna say Doctor Strange first because, in my opinion, Doctor Strange was a good movie. It had a lot of great parts in the movie, but overall, I think it was below my bar of expectation for the beginning of the Phase 4 or 5, whatever, of the of the Avengers MCU. But to bring in truly the multiverse to life in the movies. I mean, okay, I know everyone keeps saying Spider-Man brought it into life, but in reality, the only part of the Spider-Man movie was the very ending where they showed how it became into effect. Because of Spider-Man is how the multiverse actually started fucking clashing, and well, because of Doctor Strange helping Spider-Man, but yes. But like obviously, biggest hype moment, which I think everyone's gonna agree with, is when we got to see what's his name? John? Is it John?
Krasinski.
Or am I getting him? Yeah, Krasinski coming in as Mr. Fantastic. That was okay. First of all, he wasn't the only great point of that, right? Like him coming in was fucking awesome because like I'm a huge fan of him because like I used to love Chuck. I don't know if you've ever seen Chuck, right? You have, yeah. I think that's got to be like genuinely one of my top favorite fucking TV shows of all time, based on like comedy, storyline, action, casting, everything. So him coming in, that was awesome. But then also the additional characters that they introduced, which a lot of people knew. Patrick Stewart, yeah, a lot of people knew that one, right? That one they kind of hit more publicly. But even, let's see, who else did they bring? They made Captain Britain. Is that what she is?
Peggy,
I don't know the official.
Peggy from the original, from the MCU, is Captain Britain in a different universe.
And then they brought in like a different version of Miss Marvel, right?
It's funny to me that, just to go back to that real quick, it's funny to me that the first thing you think of is Chuck, and even though I did watch it, the first thing I think of is The Office. And I had to go check.
Wait, maybe I had it backwards. Was he Chuck or is he different? It might be different guys. Are you sure? Because no, I don't think
John
he didn't do.
Is the dude from The Office. What's his name?
Then maybe I got it backwards. I don't think he's the same guy, because Chuck is a different actor. So I had that backwards. And
I was gonna say, I was like, yo, I'm thinking of
The Office. Because that's Zachary Levi. Like... That's my bad. Okay, yeah. No, I had that backwards. That's my bad. But he is the new Mr.
Jim
Marvel,
Halpert.
right?
Dude, I don't know why I was blanking out on all that, because I was thrown off, I think, by the Chuck thing, but yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, never mind.
There was a lot of memes about him being. There was a lot of memes like fan art and shit that people were trying to get him to be Fantastic Four, and I don't know if you knew that before we watched the movie, but that was actually the thing that threw me off the most, is because I had seen so many memes about it. I was like, this is never gonna happen. Like, they're never gonna let him be it. Like, for the sake of just not following the meme. And then he came out and was surprised. It was not that he was in the movie, because with the introduction of the Illuminati, it makes sense, because Mr. Fantastic in the comics is one of the main members of the Illuminati. I kind of expected it, but I did not expect it to be John Krasinski, which was the whole like meme thing from way before the movie came out, like a long time ago.
I think the one thing for him too, though, is people underestimate him because they know him for The Office. But if you actually look at some of the shit that
he's been in some action movies too.
Yeah, maybe I'm okay. I'm obviously getting them mixed up. Was he Shazam, or was that?
No.
That was Chuck. Okay.
Yeah. No, he was in the one. He played like the fucking CIA agent or FBI agent or whatever.
Oh, the Tom Clancy one.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, he was a Tom Clancy for Amazon, right? That was a Prime exclusive.
Jack
TV show.
Jack
Jack Ripper.
Jack Ripper. There you go.
I don't think it was Jack Ripper. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, it was Jack something.
Can't remember what it is. Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan, there you go.
Which actually was,
Jack
I guess
Ripper.
I think it's you know, yeah, he's a serial killer. I think that show's still going on actually though.
The show's good.
Jack Ryan series.
I watched the first couple seasons of it. It was good.
I've watched the first two. I think.
But after The Office, I became a huge fan of John Krasinski. So I was happy
in that, but then, like,
what I'm
in
hoping,
the same perspective of him coming to Mr. Fantastic, like he has done a lot that wasn't just straight comedy, whereas The Office was just showcasing his comedy. That's what most people know him for, is The Office. Like you even said, obviously I had it backwards when I said Chuck. But like I think putting him in a superhero movie would be a very interesting.
I just hope they
take
let him
on his
reprise
ability
his role as Mr. Fantastic, and when they release the actual Fantastic Four movies, that's my main thing. I want them to make him the Mr.
Bring him in there,
Fantastic
yeah.
in the MCU, not just in the universe where fucking Scarlet Witch
He did.
fucking turned him into fucking shredded cheese.
Oh, what's the okay? So what's the superhero TV series from Amazon where it's the dad and the son? And
Immortals.
he's
Black Bolt.
was that the one?
Black Bolt, yeah, you're talking about Black Bolt, right? The Immortals. Black Bolt is the main character, and he was the one that he was the one that does the fucking mouth shit, and Mr. Fantastic was like, yeah, well, he can just with a whisper, he can kill you with just a whisper, and then she's like, with what mouth?
Yeah, like that. But that scene
Fine,
was like
bro.
kind of like the Amazon series though. Like that scene was honestly so fucking good because like. Well, first of all, like I couldn't stop laughing about this part, but like when people were introduced, the stereotypical Marvel reaction for fans, yeah, everybody's fucking applauding and shit, and then literally
30 seconds later, he gets his head blown off.
they literally just get murked, all of them too, right? Like not even like a few of them, they literally all fucking die in the scene, which I thought was fucking hilarious too. But it was also really cool perspective because it was just like, well. It goes both ways because this was also something that was negative in people's eyes. It was how was she so fucking easy to be able to just completely wreck some of the pretty fucking powerful superheroes. But then when it comes to like the whole Thanos fight, she was just like a little whiny bitch. Which I think a lot of people didn't. I know like that was one thing that was mentioned by the Lich.
Well, in the comics, she's like legitimately one of the strongest characters in Marvel Universe.
I understand that, but that's what I'm saying though. Like they didn't, they showcased that in Doctor Strange, but I feel like they didn't do that in the fucking Avengers. Made her look such a baby back bitch in the Avengers, and I think that was kind of dog shit.
Well, up until she was fighting Thanos in Endgame, she straight up stopped his blade. And she would have actually killed him in Endgame, I think. The reason why she didn't is because remember he fucking pulled down his ship and sacrificed like almost all of his troops just to get away from Scarlet Witch. I don't know if you remember that scene. She was gonna kill him. She was gonna kill him by herself. She was definitely.
What she should have.
I think the reason why they didn't really showcase her strengths before then was for a couple reasons. In my opinion, it'd be one is they were still trying to focus on the main characters that they were getting rid of soon, and they knew she was gonna be here for a while. And two, it was kind of like a coming of situation for her, where like throughout the Infinity Saga, she was still like discovering her strengths and her abilities and what she could and couldn't do. And I think that was the real reason why they didn't show her like her strengths off until obviously WandaVision. And then you started getting like a fucking little bit more of like, holy fuck, this is a powerful superhero. And then obviously now, I think honestly the main reason why, in my opinion, would be that they even brought the Illuminati in to that movie was one, so they could showcase how strong she is, that she could just do that and fucking kill them all, in the 30 seconds or 2 minutes worth of scenes, right? And then two, just to introduce the fact that that in different universes, these characters that we know do exist, and inevitably they will be in our universe too, our MCU. So I think it was more of like they really introduced them obviously to show that they're there, but more importantly, they introduced ones in a different universe that she could kill very quickly to show how strong she is, and not make a huge impact on the actual MCU that we know. You know what I'm saying? Like if they introduced all those characters as the Illuminati in our MCU, and then she goes in there and just kills them all off in 2 minutes, we'd be like, what the fuck? what the fuck just happened?
That's also like the weird. That's also one of like the negative perspectives people are having though is like they can just constantly kill off people technically and then just reintroduce them
The
from
comics
another
do that too, though.
multiverse.
Comics
I
have
know,
been doing
but
that
like
for decades. For
I know, but
decades.
also like the comics are people read and whatnot, and like it's a very more strict fan base, whereas these movies are watched by a lot of fucking people, and I'm sure people are gonna get
I
it's
don't
gonna
know.
get old for a lot of people a lot quicker.
In my opinion, I like it. I think that it gives them the opportunity to introduce characters that most people aren't going to know because they don't read comics. So there's a lot of characters like, do you know who Adam Warlock is? No, you don't, right? So, like, there's a lot of strong
I'm
characters.
pretty sure I do actually, but I
Okay,
don't.
but if you really don't
Do you remember I
know,
talked to Daryl a lot, so
true. But like, if you really like truly don't know like most of these characters, you're not gonna know, and most people aren't gonna know until they see them in the movie. So it gives them an opportunity to like bring these characters in, like test the playing field of like how well they're accepted by like the general public and like how well people like want to watch them or watch their TV
that's
shows
true.
or movies.
And then
And
also
then if
when
they
do
don't like them, they
casting
can
like
go,
that.
well, that didn't work.
And when they do casting like that, like if they see the uproar of like, oh man, John, is fucking Mr. Fantastic, then they'll be like, oh, that was obviously popular. We need to try to keep him as much
Yeah,
as
and
possible.
then now they're most definitely going to keep him for Mr. I think they're going to keep him for
It'd be
the
dumb if
Fantastic
not,
Four
right?
movie.
Yeah, like
And that's going to make them a lot more money because they know the people are definitely want to see more of that. They want to see him play Mr. Fantastic.
which
so
is
they're
actually a
gonna
cool
bring it
part
back.
of social media, though.
Yep.
Because there have been changes to movies that have fixed a lot. I like the whole
Sonic.
Sonic thing, and yeah, no, but I mean, like even still though, but like it helps drive
Aquaman.
people's perspective. And yeah, I mean, honestly though, if
Strike your
Amber Turd,
names.
she's at 10 minutes now. I mean, there's like still a pinch out there to get her out. Lower. There's like over 3 million signatures. So yeah, I mean, hopefully yes, John being in that movie will people. I guess Disney execs will be like, yeah, we need to keep him if he's willing to, and we need to make sure that we try to build a franchise, especially since that that reboot of the Fantastic series was pretty dog shit.
Horrible.
So
Horrible.
no, I mean, yeah, everyone hated it. So, but hopefully then that will motivate them thinking like, oh, we can use John to hopefully revive this and revitalize it.
Yeah, they said that
the
they're.
fan base already. That's
They
like
said that they're already working. If they haven't already casted, they're working on casting the female too. I just blanked out.
and I
on her
like
name.
Jessica Alba as her. That'd be so cool. She'd come back.
Mm,
I'm a biased. I like Jessica Alba in general, but
I kind of would hope.
there's
she
definitely a
did.
lot of choices out there. And I'm not saying no, but
I think they need to refresh start with
At this
stuff like
point-
Fantastic Four, X-Men. I think they just need a hard reset. Like it was
at
cool to
this
see
point they should
Patrick
just get
Stewart.
Pam from The Office as her, and then they'll just get
Get
get,
Michael. Get Michael to play Superior Iron Man.
like okay yeah, and then fucking I don't know. Yeah, but that would be kind of funny actually. Some of that shit would obviously no, that'd be stupid because they would not be
Yeah.
good casted. Especially like Michael Scott or whatever his name is. What's the fucking? Can't think of his name. Steve something.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. Yeah, he wouldn't make a good superhero. I don't think he'd be too much. He's too comedic.
Definitely not.
They put him in a serious role like that. It'd
Definitely
be
not.
bad. So obviously that's a joke, but
I think all in all, I thought it was actually a good movie. I thought it introduced a lot of things that we weren't fully introduced to yet. I thought it gives Marvel the opportunity to bring to a lot of changes, a lot of new characters, and then also kind of back off of some ones that aren't so popular. It gives them a lot of leeway to be more creative without having to stick to like a strict like if fucking I don't know some character that's in the Marvel comic books, right? And it's a powerful character or a non-powerful character, whatever. If they just want to bring that person in just to like test it out, I think it's dope. I think that's an amazing thing that they can.
well, I
do
guess
that
another
freely.
concept too. Their concept too, I guess, like is if an actor or actress either something happens or doesn't want to be part of the films, which is very unlikely because they're making millions of dollars out of the MCU. But if that was the case, yeah, if that was the case, then they could just be like, oh yeah, this one died, and here's another one from another fucking multiverse, and this is the personality, and this is who they are. Because obviously they showcased that with Captain Marvel,
Yep.
with the other chick that introed into as her.
Monica Rambeau. I think what's dope is that they also the one thing that I really liked about that movie is that they didn't like they didn't brush over America Chavez too much. And they also weren't too political with the shit either. People were like, "Oh, they're gonna promote, gays and stuff like that." Like, no, bro. First of all, nobody gives a fuck. Second of all, they weren't overly political about it. Like, literally, the only thing that you would know
No.
is that she had two moms, and I don't know if you noticed this, but she had a rainbow pin on her jacket. Other than that, they were not like overly pushing the agenda of like whatever. They were not.
Yeah.
It wasn't overboard, so it didn't bother me at all. Not that it would have anyways, but it didn't bother me, and I like that they focused on her abilities and making her a prominent character. Like she's a powerful character, which in the comics she is. So I like that they did that, and they didn't just like throw in a few scenes and be like, "Oh, this is how Doctor Strange got to the multiverse, the other universe," and then bam, she's done. Like the story was about her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was really about America Chavez, and Doctor Strange was just trying to help her, which I thought was dope. To introduce a strong character into the MCU.
I just think I could kind of take Daryl's perspective. I just say like the villain in that was so ass.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, like I feel like it was just ass. Like her reasoning for being the hero was like truly a meme in my opinion, and also just like I don't know. I just feel like they could have done so much better on that aspect. Everything else, yes, I agree. I like the fact that they went through the multiverses. I like the fact that they had character introductions. I actually liked that they were killing everyone off just to show that they were like gotta be able to use that as an advantage of saying like we're gonna pull people from multiple universes that might be the same person because they're clearly expressing that. And I do like the story like plot what it is fairly good in that sense, like the multiverse connection. I just don't like that she was the villain. I feel like it would have been so much better if they just introduced someone else to go after her that is an actual villain. But like I know Scarlet Witch actually does technically turn against them in the comics and whatnot. I just don't. I don't know. Like the whole concept of like the whole reason she's hunting down a child. Well, technically, really not a child because, well, she is, but I don't know. That was confusing to me, I guess too. But like hunting her down just to take her power to go be a mom to her kids. It's just like
I got
pretty,
the story arc. I didn't think it was
pretty
horrible.
full-fledged like psycho like kind of creep.
I think that's the image they were trying to portray, though. They were making a horror movie. They wanted her to be like a psychopath. Like, this is insane. Like, why are you, like, this doesn't even make sense. But, I didn't think it was bad. I just thought it was like, I feel like they wanted to showcase her strength more than anything. They didn't really care about who the bad guy was necessarily.
They did that when they went to the temple, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I bet there's easy ways to showcase her strength though without making her the villain. In
I
the
don't.
sense
I
of,
think it
like-
was more about showing how strong she was, giving her more of a story arc, and then also introducing a lot of new concepts to the MCU, rather than being Doctor Strange fights a specific, very powerful bad guy.
Well, and how it ended for her, I guess, because technically we know that there's other ones, and technically they could bring her back in that sense too. So.
They're definitely gonna bring her back. Most definitely, she will be back in the MCU. I guarantee you. I think the one that killed herself in the mountain isn't even dead. But it's possible that she's dead, and then one of the ones, like maybe the one she possessed, or we already know, according to the rules of the multiverse, there's infinite versions of every single person in every single universe. So I guarantee you she will be back in the MCU. She will most definitely be back. Most definitely.
And I think the coolest introduction for you.
The main thing
probably,
is deciding if they're going to be good or bad. But my bad, go ahead.
I think the coolest thing though for you, and probably introductions, was probably the very end though. Doctor Strange.
What?
You know, because he gets the book when he meets the other one. When he gets the book, he meets the third eye. Doctor Strange. I feel like you were pretty excited about that part.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean...
I don't know enough about that in comic-wise, so I don't...
The Darkhold... So,
how
the thing
good that
was, for me, is that the Darkhold in the comics, they portrayed it well. The whole point is that it corrupts whoever's mind. It basically is like a possession. And the fact that he destroyed the book, but then at the very end, you see Charlize Theron come in as the motherfucker that she's playing as, right? I can't remember her name, I'm blanking out, but when she comes in and then you see her be like, oh, there's another incursion. I need you to come help me take care of this. And so not only is he gonna go help her, so he's obviously still good. But then you see the third eye pop up, like he's using the Darkhold to do good shit, which is like
For now.
for now. But it leaves a
Whenever
lot
they
of
decide to kill him
it
off if
leaves
they
a
want
lot
to.
yeah it leaves a lot of opportunity for him to do good and bad shit, and to like still maintain like that he's the horror like character that's capable of doing bad shit, but for the sake of good. Which is
And they
funny.
even said that too, though, right? Because that's like
It's like
what the
Thanos.
reason he met. No, but that's also the reason. Well, yes,
It's
but
like literally like every
that's
villain.
that's the reason he ran into the situation he did with the what do they call the team? What is it? The pyramid, fucking Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic, all of them. What do they
The
call that
Illuminati.
organization? Illuminati. That's the reason that he got in a situation with them, is because technically he did do, you know, his resolution was an evil thing, but did solve the problem. So, like, technically, I guess that they've already showcased that he is willing to do the evil things in order to make, in order to have the overall best result, I guess, per
Yeah.
se, or not. Or his mind is the best result.
Yeah.
I mean, even they showed that at the very beginning with fucking when she's running away from Scarlet Witch's demon thing
Yeah.
and one of his other universes.
Yep. It showed that he was capable of having, darker versions of himself. He's supposed to be like the best version of himself, which makes sense
Or
because
was.
we're in the primary, universe in this
Yeah.
in this cinematic universe, whatever. So, yeah, I was pretty excited to see him like controlling it, the power that he got from the Darkhold, and hopefully, we'll see where it goes from there. Hopefully, it makes him a stronger version of himself for like later movies. All in all, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was bad. by
No,
any
I don't think
means.
it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I just feel like it. I feel my expectations were a lot higher than what I got out of it. That's all I'm saying. But I think it's also because I don't have as much of the comic background that like you do, but even like it also depends on perspective, because even Don has a lot of comic thing, and he also really didn't like it. He was even worse than me. He actually truly said he didn't like it. So
I
you know,
think
obviously perspective too.
another thing for me too was that I was expecting a Sam Raimi horror film, and that's what I got.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't get that either though.
So
Well, like, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't even know like that was the thing.
Yeah.
And then there were some cheesy ass parts in the film that I was like, what the fuck?
Donna,
But then there was
yeah.
also some cool parts that made it more.
like when she
like,
crawls through the
gruesome to
fucking
get him out.
when she crawled through the fucking like the thing
glass,
and she's all
the
twisted up
reflection.
and shit. Or when
Yeah.
she came around the smoke and snapped fucking Professor X's neck, like
I was
those
like, shit like that was
horror
cool.
elements.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's Sam Raimi style though.
But there
it
was like
dope.
there was some cheesy shit too though. Like that's, I guess, what I might say though. But yes, some of the stuff that he did was pretty cool in the sense of showing her like the true evil that was within her.
Yep.
Like she clearly does not.
Well, I
had
mean, in
no
the
more.
sense that we haven't got any like real horror elements.
Dark, yeah,
Really
Marvel.
dark shit.
So it's like this
We've
guy's
never
gonna
seen it
snap
where
his
the-
finger and make
yeah.
everyone disappear.
Probably the most vividly dark shit before this would have either been in Moon Knight, which we're about to get to, or when Thor cut off Thanos' head in Endgame.
Oh yeah.
Like, other than that, and even
That's
then, you
cool.
don't actually see it happen. You just see him swing the axe, and then you see his head fall on the ground, but you don't like really see what happens. It's for PG-13 shit. But in Doctor Strange, they really pushed it. They really you literally see fucking Black Bolt's head fucking explode inside of itself and then drain back the blood out. You see her come out like covered in blood and shit. You see her snap fucking Patrick Stewart's neck. Like, I thought it was dope that they were really writing that line in PG-13 and R.
Yeah.
And I like that it was a different side of the MCU that we haven't got to see yet. And that was a big thing for me. Because I wanted to introduce another thing that leads into is that also with Moon Knight, the darker sides of like Moon Knight in this movie is it leads into the possibility of Deadpool being rated R again in Disney, which is going to be a tough battle for them, I think, because obviously it's Disney, but they need to either figure out how to make it rated R and have the approval that they want, or be PG-13 but like ride the motherfucking line like they did with Doctor Strange, you know what I mean, with Deadpool, because
Yeah.
I'm the last
Questionable.
person that wants them to fuck up Deadpool. I love Deadpool, right? So like,
Yeah.
I'm the last person that wants them to fuck up Deadpool, but I want them to succeed at it, and I want it to be good because I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He's perfect for Deadpool. It's
Which,
perfect.
you know,
Plays it
everybody does,
amazingly. Everyone knows that.
I know, like
Now
everybody
that
does.
Disney has the rights to it, I don't want them to fuck it up. So I want them to be able to go down that path of, okay, we're starting to put darker shit, gorier shit, more violent shit in here, and it's being
I hope,
accepted.
if
No one's
anything,
tripping
Ryan
about
Reynolds
it.
is like, I'm not doing it unless you let me continue my path. And I think that that'll be big because then if Ryan Reynolds isn't in it too, I think then that'll speak volumes on behalf of.
I think partially he
the-
would do that, but I think mostly he would want
Yeah,
to
it's
be
the
as
same
part of the
way.
MCU.
But it's MCU.
Yeah.
You're making a shit ton of money, and he is a great Deadpool. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like the R stuff that they did in the movies made him also part of being a great Deadpool.
That's what made the movie
So,
so
like,
popular.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Though. It's like if they got rid of that, I feel like he might be like, it just feels like it's not the same character. So why would I want to do something just because I mean Ryan Reynolds isn't hurting for money either though. He's been in a lot of shit that's been very successful.
I don't mean
not
as
just
far as
MCU.
money. I mean just being a part of that
The universe.
cinematic
Yeah,
universe.
because
It's
it's big.
so
But he
big,
but he also
so many
already
people involved
was.
in.
You know what I mean?
Like people's
Technically.
got legacies built off that shit right now.
This
Chris
is
Evans, like even though they were bigger, even though they were well-known names, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, fucking Scarlett Johansson, fucking I'm blanking out Chris, what's his name, Thor. Like those people, like even though they were known
Chris
before
Hemsworth?
this, Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth, even though they were known before the MCU, I guarantee you, anyone that thinks of Robert Downey Jr. Not saying that we don't know that he played Sherlock Holmes, right? In a lot of other
But he
shit.
didn't play Sherlock Holmes until he was already an Iron Man.
I know that.
That
but
came
what
out after
I
Iron
know
Man.
that, but what I'm saying is, he was obviously already known. There was other movies I'm blanking on right now, but he was already a well-known person, celebrity. But I guarantee you, everyone that when they see a picture of Robert Downey Jr., they're gonna think of Iron Man. That is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, most
So,
yeah.
if anything, Ryan Reynolds, yes, he's already has that probably image of Deadpool, but he's gonna want to continue that. And if he gets the opportunity to, I think he takes it either way. Sees what happens with the third movie, he'll do it. And then if it's really bad or for whatever reason just not what he likes, then maybe they try to kill off Deadpool or whatever. But I think he at least does one movie with Disney, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean I'm not disagree with it. I just feel like
Because
You could use it as, like,
yes, I think of Deadpool, but I still also think of like Green Lantern, and like the original Deadpool from the X-Men. Remember where they sewed his
yeah,
mouth
but
shut?
Green Lantern. Well, back to your thing of like your expectations of any DC movie, Green Lantern. So that's that's not a fair like thing in my opinion.
No, but my point is that I still have that image of it's not like Robert Downey Jr. We're the main.
Oh yeah, you think Iron Man?
Like
okay,
I
yeah.
still think of when I see Ryan Reynolds, I still have like multiple things that I think of like off the rip.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's a
Deadpool
lot,
is
but
the
he
first
also has
thing.
been in a lot of also very popular films, or at least
Yeah.
very high. Because I want to say, Green Lantern wasn't like a popular film where people are like, oh, I love that movie, but it also did do pretty damn good in the box office and shit, because their expectations of it. Because it was one of the earlier DC movies before people started to realize, like, okay, these movies are gonna be shit, and I'm not gonna fucking waste my money on going to the box office. I will chill out. I'll just
Yeah.
order some food.
But
I'm hungry.
all in all, I'm excited for the rest of Phase 4. I'm excited for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And
Definitely curious.
Miss Marvel's coming out really soon. Then what?
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Thor, Love and Thunder, and then She-Hulk is not too long after that too, right? Or
I think She-Hulk's closer to the end, actually, of the year. Or next year's.
there's something else though after Thor, right?
Push it a little farther.
I don't remember right now. I know that Miss Marvel and Thor are
think
the
of it.
next two things, but I'm excited, super excited for Miss Marvel, yes, but really, and Miss Marvel mostly just because they're introducing another powerful character, but really I'm excited for Thor to see where they take him and his character, and what
The
they're
only
gonna
reason I'm
introduce
not too
new to the
excited
MCU.
about Miss Marvel is just because, like, she's like a fucking like middle schooler or high schooler, and it just. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be interesting
But
as to like,
but they're
how they
introducing
actually
the Young
do it.
Avengers. That's why they did Kate Bishop with Hawkeye. That's why they introduced America Chavez. That's why they're going to
That's true.
introduce
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about
Ant-Man's
that one.
daughter in the next Ant-Man and Wasp movie. I guarantee you, because she's a teenager now. Remember, in Endgame when he came
Yeah,
back
I guess
from
I
the
didn't think
snap.
about that actually. That's a different.
That's why they're doing that. I guarantee you. And also they're doing the Marvels, which is all Captain Marvel, probably Monica Rambeau, which was the Miss Captain Marvel you saw in the Illuminati. Miss
Yeah.
Marvel is one of them, and they're gonna have a whole. I think that's a TV show, right? Though not a movie. But anyways, it introduces a lot with them, and then I guarantee you they're gonna go to the Young Avengers at some point with all these younger characters.
That is a good point. I didn't think about it that way. That would be a good shift up too to kind of get rid of the older characters. And
Oh, they're
go into
most
something
definitely
new,
getting
so.
rid of all the characters. They'll probably have a couple OGs in there. Hulk, Thor for a while, Ant-Man for a while.
It sounds
I'm
like
pretty sure
Thor. I thought Thor was coming to end. That's kind of the concept of Thor: Love and Thunder. It's her takeover, Miss Thor, or whatever you call her. A
Jane
female
Foster.
Thor.
I don't know really how much they're getting rid of him though. I just feel like it's yes.
Because
it's
he's
like
even talking about in the. You seen the ad, right? He's even talking about like he wants to. He's like, I'm giving up the whole.
oh yeah. The trailer. He
Like,
doesn't wanna fight.
literally, that's what he's
But he
saying.
says that at
that's
the
whole-
beginning, but then he ends up fighting. And the whole point of the movie, without knowing exactly what's going to happen, is that Gore the God Hunter is the main villain.
But they're showcasing
He's
that
still
he
gonna
wants
fight.
to be done though.
I'm aware, but I don't think that he's going to be one of the characters like Tony Stark and Captain America, where they just straight up kill him off. In
No,
Black Widow.
no. It's gonna be he's gonna go to the new what do they call it? Asgard. He's gonna go to New Asgard, if anything. And they might make, like you said, he'll be like guest appearances, but I think that he won't be like a main character anymore.
Oh yeah, I don't
I think they're
any
trying
of
to get him
those
out.
are going to be main characters
I
anymore.
don't
I think they're going to finish out Phase 4 with what's left. They'll all be there, and then after that, it's probably when they shift to either the entirely new entirely.
Well,
new
they've already killed
catalog.
off a few anyways too, so that
Yeah.
helped.
They're going to switch to either entirely new catalog at Phase 5, or they're going to go to the Young Adventures to Phase 5. But I think Phase 4 is still going to focus mostly, not all, but mostly on the characters we already know. Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers that are still alive. In my opinion, could be wrong. I also think they're going to do like a Secret Wars thing, but we're not going to get into that because
Nobody knows.
it's going to be a long
I
conversation.
don't even know what Secret Wars is also, so
It's a very, very, very good comic book art.
I'll have to look into it then. Since we're on the topic of Marvel, and I started on Doctor Strange, I'll let you start on the good old Knight.
Moon Knight. Dude, by far the best Marvel TV series that's ever came out. The only one that's even close, in my opinion, is
Loki?
Daredevil. Daredevil
never
was
watched
amazing.
Daredevil.
Yeah, the Netflix Marvel series Daredevil was amazing.
I never watched it through, but I know the whole Netflix
Oh my god,
Marvel
it's so
franchise seemed to be very popular.
good. It was very popular, and but so I think that the way that they ended it was obviously, like I said, I think it was
Exquisite.
amazing. They brought
Well, just-
elements to the MCU that were obviously not here before. They showcased that Oscar Isaac is a fucking amazing actor when he's given the right role. Clearly,
Yeah.
Poe, Star Wars.
Well, it wasn't even that he was bad in that. It was just that, yeah, they didn't fucking.
Yeah, they fucked
the
him up.
character Poe was useless, but that's also like most of that movie. The characters were pretty dog shit, except for like Ben.
Yeah, and
Corrin.
then they also the way that it ended is they introduced a lot of things that, not even the way they ended, but throughout it they introduced a lot of things that we didn't know existed in the MCU, or we didn't know how it worked. Like we didn't know how the pantheons work. Like there's different realms. We had already seen Black Panther. We'd already seen the whatever it's the afterlife. I can't remember the exact name of it right now, but the ancestral planes in Black
Eternals.
Panther. No, the ancestral planes.
No, but I mean like Internals too, technically, because they were the creator of universes too. What's his fucking face? I know it's not like a direct
Technically, yeah.
like human pantheon or whatever, but it is in a sense like a godlike character. So they're showcasing the fact that there's apparently, I guess it's gonna have to be across universes in my opinion, but the way they're built. But
Yeah, but
which could be a cool concept. They could be showing that there is a godlike character in each universe that is different, but it still is the god. Or,
what I think they're doing is
Moon Knight
there's-
is gods because it's Egyptian.
What I think
but
they're saying is, in my opinion, would be they're basically saying that whatever you believe is where you're gonna go. Because Black Panther, when he drank the shit and when he died, he went to the ancestral planes and talked to his father and his ancestors. that
that's
were
true
all Black
too,
Panthers.
because
and
then you'd be
when-
crossing them with Thor, so you couldn't say that each of them have their individual, because then that would be
yeah,
contradicting
but
itself.
then when
so yeah, I
the
guess what I said
Egyptians,
is
they
already off.
believe in the Egyptian gods, and
And they already showed how that worked.
and then
the
they go to
showcasing
a
of
different afterlife, and then
which was probably fake, but
no, it was real. And
no, the
then-
mindset, like this is something that was actually said to me. Juliana and I were talking about. Hey, one of the thoughts that we were having is when they're in that no, never mind. They were dead. That's right. I'm thinking the hospital part. When in the hospital part though, we're convinced, or the mental hospital, we're convinced that's when the third guy comes out. and that's why they're in there, both together, because they finally realize that there's a third person.
He was in there too.
When they're in the mental hospital.
Yeah. Remember when Steven was running around in there and he found Mark in a sarcophagus in a tomb in the ground, and then they went to the next room. They ran by and there was another tomb in there that was shaking and pounding, and you heard like a slight voice in it, but they didn't.
Dude, I think I
open it
gotta
up.
rewatch this shit, bro.
He was in there, and then also when when Dr. Harrow was interviewing him, when he got up and when he was trying to stab him with the fucking sharp thing on the desk, that was him. You heard his accent change and everything. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely did not catch that part, but I guess that makes sense though. Which also,
that was Jake.
dude, that was
Jake,
close fight.
probably.
So okay, he's supposed to be Italian, right?
Spanish.
What is he? He's Spanish?
He speaks
I
Spanish.
thought he.
I don't know
I guess Italian and
exactly
Spanish
what.
are real close in like language
I
culture.
don't know
Reference.
exactly
That's why
what
that's why I
type
caught it.
of
But
Hispanic he is.
like
but
wet
he's
Spanish it is,
Hispanic,
yeah.
He's Hispanic.
for some reason, like I don't know, I got the mobster vibe, so I thought he was Italian.
Which,
But
you
and
know,
the
Oscar
language
Isaac
is so close,
actually
so
Hispanic too. So
did not know that.
yeah.
But I could see it. I could
I
definitely.
think
with
he's
one of the stuff that
Ecuadorian
he's
and
in.
Cuban. I think he's Ecuadorian and Cuban or something like that. But yeah, he's Hispanic.
Well, that's a good cat. That's like the personality that apparently is still gonna have a bigger impact because it's the one that's still connected to the god.
I think
What is
the
it?
main thing that was really interesting to take away from that was that they're saying that Mark Septor in the comics, Mark Septor is the primary entity for Moon Knight, is the primary entity for like
They did in that show too, though.
huh? No. They made it seem like that throughout the whole time, but you kept seeing that the most powerful one. Remember, every time they would blink out,
Oh,
neither
true.
no one,
Yeah,
one of them
yeah,
knew what was
yeah.
going
He
on.
is the more controlled one.
Jake Lockley was the one that was really getting shit done. Every time shit
That also
was,
doesn't make
every
sense
time-
though, because like, why would he not be involved with any of the life stuff that everything else is happening now?
because he only cares about that shit. He only cares about Khonshu and being Moon Knight. He's the strongest one, and he's obviously we saw in the end he's the one that's most connected
Which is
to
awesome.
Khonshu. Like
I
he's
mean,
literally
anybody
just
who
driving
knows-
Khonshu around in a fucking limo,
Which
like
is also
killing
really
killing
fucking
killing
cool,
the dude in the
right?
back of a limo for Khonshu.
There was this
Like he's
there's this
clearly the
Instagram
main.
post. It was like Khonshu going to the Met Gala because all those fucking pictures coming out of the Met Gala around that same time. It's like Khonshu
yeah.
wanted to Met Gala because he's all like in this fucking white ass suit and fucking with a fresh fit, honestly.
Which they
Okay,
they
yeah,
did
that
in
makes
the
sense though.
comic.
Like, yeah, his connection is that he's probably technically
only
already
Moon Knight.
dead, physically, I guess.
No.
And he's literally just here for Moon Knight.
He's not dead. No, he's separated so
Like
far
his
from-
consciousness, though.
No, he's just separated so far from the other two that he doesn't show himself because he still has to be Moon Knight for Khonshu. So he can't let.
Oh,
In my
okay.
opinion, I could be wrong, but he's not showing them who he is yet because he doesn't want them to try to fight him with Khonshu. Like they're trying to get rid of Khonshu. They got rid of Khonshu.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. He still has a.
But they don't
allegiance
know
to
that he.
Khonshu.
They really fully don't know that he exists.
Yeah.
They don't know that he's obviously still fucking Moon Knight. And then you see at the end when he ties himself back up to the bed like he was doing in the beginning of the season. Why would he be doing that if Mark and Steven were the only two versions of himself? Mark's not going out and being Moon Knight anymore. Steven's does it because he thinks that he's dreamwalking when really it was Mark going out and being Moon Knight. Neither one of them, they're both chained up to the bed, but they don't even realize that it's because fucking Jake Lockley is really the Moon Knight still, and they don't even know that he exists. Which again goes back to, remember what I was saying in the episode 5 when they were weighing the hearts, and the reason why it wouldn't balance when there was 2 of them until one of them got destroyed was because there was a third heart that was missing. So when one of them finally got destroyed, now there's 2 hearts, and that's an actual balance. Because 3 would be obviously an odd
Yeah.
count.
That was a good point. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I think what happened was when he was a kid, he created Steven to deal with like the emotion, to like deal with it, not emotionally, but to have this image in his
escape
head.
reality,
Yeah,
really.
escape from
That everything's
reality. Have
perfect.
this image in his head that he has this ultimate perfect reality. And then there was actual Mark, who knew what was going on, but wasn't actually there for it because he was either Steven escaping it or it was Jake that was physically taking the damage.
And Jake's
Right?
the one, the
brutal one.
aggressive one. Yeah.
Because of what he
Which
went
makes
through.
sense. So he's the one that was probably in reality awake when, well, not awake, but obviously he was getting hit when he was still,
Yep. Jake was the
Mark.
one getting beat.
and when he was, yeah.
Jake was the one
That's
getting
what I'm saying,
beat.
yeah.
Jake was the one getting abused. Jake was the one that was actually dealing with the physical part of that abuse, where Mark probably dealt
Mark
with
was the
the
mental
emotional mental
abuse,
part. Yeah,
and then the other guy was
Steven was just
escape from reality. Yeah, Steven was
I'm
his escape
Dr.
from reality.
Steven Grant.
This isn't mom. That was actually really sad though.
Yeah,
Not even a cap. That shit fucking.
that kid nailed that shit too.
Yeah, for real, dude. Like honestly, like he's definitely got a career, dude. That was fucking weird. Like just that transition was fucking pretty fucking impressive. Yes, especially coming from a fucking child who like that kid cannot be older than probably 12.
10,
He
11,
probably was like
12
9 or 10.
max,
Yeah. But like he literally went from fucking like frightened, fucking out of his mind, sitting there and everything, and then just all of a sudden like, this isn't my mom. I was fucking.
Dude, the scene where they had Khonshu and Ahmet fighting.
Yeah.
Wow, that shit was
That's
so
cool.
dope. You know what I was wondering about though in that scene was I assumed that only they could see them, right?
Yeah. I think that's
Because-
the reality. That is the reality.
But like the whole like ground and like buildings,
The
and
physical
shit
atmosphere
was, like,
was getting
was
wrecked, so
moving,
they were
and
there
people
physically.
are just like standing around like, there's an earthquake, I guess, going on, and they don't know that there's like two massive ass gods like throwing each other into a pyramid. Like,
Yeah, they
I
could
don't
only
know.
see them. It'd have to be, because
Right.
when he's getting chased by those fucking ugly ass monsters too, it's impacting the cars. Remember when those fucking
That's what I'm
the
saying.
demon was chasing him?
That's
So
what I'm
yeah, I
saying.
guess.
But what I'm saying too is that like, so when they were like, I think it was episode 2 or 3, whenever he first went in and met the other gods, Osiris and shit, and they were like, yeah, well, we don't show ourselves to people anymore because they stopped believing in us, they stopped worshiping us, whatever. So we just have our one avatar and that's it. But I wonder if after like say for example, or not, I wonder, but it would have been dope if like the female that saw what's her name? She's Scarlet Scarab now. I can't remember her name in the TV series or something. I'm blanking out. Layla, right? Layla. Or anyways, when she saw it, she's like, "Are you a god?" And she was like, "Yeah." It would have been dope if she like started, but like you could see the transition of her not believing to believing, and then like she looks up and sees them and is like, "What the fuck?" Like that would have been dope for them to like, because I feel like it's kind of like a hole missing that I don't know if people could see them if they believe in them or if they'll just never see them unless the gods want them to see them. That would have been dope
Yeah, I
to
guess
know.
that's
It doesn't like it didn't make the show any worse, but it would. I feel like it's something
Well,
that they
or
missed,
even if
it's a
you
missed
showcased-
opportunity.
Or even if you showcased all the followers that guy had, seeing her, which they
Sure.
might have actually done.
I think they did. In the
So
pyramid,
technically,
in
at
the
that point, it
temple.
would be what you're thinking is it is a mindset of belief versus what they allow to be seen.
But remember,
Because it's not like she came out knowing what they all
no,
knew.
but remember,
You know what I mean?
Harold couldn't see Khonshu. When he was in
Who?
that scene and she was talking to Khonshu, Harold was talking to her like, "Don't believe him. Whatever he's telling you, don't believe him." If he could see him and hear him, then he would know what he's saying. He wouldn't be saying it like that. He was saying it like, "I don't know what he's saying, but just don't believe him. Like, don't listen to him. He's just trying to get in your head." That's what Harold was
That's
saying.
true.
Like he couldn't see him or hear him, but he knew that he was there. Like they were arguing because he could obviously hear Ahmet arguing with fucking air.
Yeah.
And the only thing that makes sense would for it to be Khonshu, obviously.
Yeah, I guess that's a very good point too, though.
So I don't know.
Hmm.
But all in all, that was an amazing.
That show is
TV
really
show.
good though. That season
I
finale
really hope they extend it to another season, but I do.
before they introduce him into the thing, into
Yes,
the
but
multiverse, like with other characters.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna release a group called the Midnight Suns, which is like in the comics. it'll be like,
Daredevil, right?
No, Ghost Rider,
Yeah.
Werewolf by Night,
I thought
Moon
Daredevil
Knight,
was for that group.
and maybe I don't think so. I think Punisher,
I'll look it up, but
Blade,
which would make sense, right?
because all these characters
Because
are coming.
they're
Ghost Rider's coming,
exactly.
Blade's coming, Werewolf by Night's coming, Moon
Marvel
Knight's already
Knights. Is
here.
that what it's called?
No, Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah, they have it right here.
I don't remember Daredevil being Midnight Sun, but maybe he was.
Morbius, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like that's too much.
No, I think
Well, they
they'll
don't
do
even
their
own
own.
Morbius. So.
I think they'll do their own version of it, but I think it will be a Midnight Suns esque group But I
Yeah,
think
but it
it'll be
does
with like
say Blade and Punisher are both in this too, though.
Blade,
So that would make sense. And
Punisher,
Ghost
Ghost
Rider,
Rider,
Johnny Blaze. Yeah,
Moon
yeah.
Knight, and then Werewolf by Night, because we all those characters are definitely gonna be in the MCU. They already have told us that they're gonna be there.
Lined up stuff for them.
So I
Yeah.
think what they're gonna do is they're gonna introduce each of them in their own series, and then eventually they'll come through as like their like a main.
But I don't want to wait
series.
like 2 years for more Moon Knight.
I don't,
or even
no,
longer
but
than
he
that.
can pop
honestly.
up in every series though. I can
That's true.
almost
Kind of like
guarantee he will.
Daredevil, and yeah, that's true.
Bro,
'Cause that's what they did in
Werewolf
some
by
other stuff.
Night and Moon Knight are going to be together. All of their comic arcs go together. Like they're going to be together. The other ones, the ones that you could like space them out where they could go entire, storylines without ever meeting each other, knowing each other. But I think that's the direction Marvel's going. In my analysis of it, that's what I think they're going to do with that.
I do analysis.
And I'm
Does
excited for
indicate.
that. I'm excited for that. Super, super excited for that. And then I hope that they do them all in TV shows. And then when it comes down to like the Infinity War Endgame type movie, like the end of Phase 4, Phase 5.
I think that's what they're gonna do
is
though.
when they finally bring him in with the rest of like the Avengers and all that shit.
Because let's be honest, if Disney Plus was a thing before the Avengers grouped up, I feel like they would have done some of the same concept too. Because
Yeah.
even though movies make a lot of like money, I feel like TV shows also make a shit ton of money if done properly, and the fact that you could do multiple seasons on ones that you know are more favored. You know what I mean?
Loki
Like,
is definitely gonna know that one.
yeah, and they're doing that right now, right? Like they already knew they're not gonna do another one of WandaVision, which not that it wasn't liked. I think it's just that they don't. It's
WandaVision
for
was never
fucking up.
intended to be. It was never
Yeah, it was just an
intended to be a
introduction
it was
into
literally
what's
just-
his fuck in the
it was-
book, and
yeah.
or what's her fuck in the book. Yeah,
Yep.
but I was just saying though, like some of them weren't. I think even Captain, no,
Captain
sorry, not
America.
Captain. Well, that's yeah, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Even that one was technically just an introduction to
Well,
him
now he's
becoming Captain America.
Yeah.
versus like they're not gonna do another
No,
show
they're
of
doing
that.
another series, I think. I could
But
be
wouldn't
wrong.
it be like just Captain America then at that point, and then maybe the Winter Soldier or something, then add him
Yeah.
back or like that,
Yeah.
or Bucky? I don't know what they would call him at that point. But yeah, I think that like I agree with you. I think that that would be like the big brain move, especially now that the days movie theaters are kind of dying anyways. So and that's where a lot of the profit is from movies. So if it's create more TV shows that gives them more revenue stream of people
Yep.
keeping subscriptions for a longer duration,
Yep.
then they can do all these breakoffs. It gives them more time through production because, like you said, they could spend 4 years on a movie while they're creating 4 different TV series in those years to show them and then bring them all together in one fucking movie. So I could definitely see them doing that. Like strategically, I feel like that makes the most sense too.
Yeah.
And it keeps people talking about it. It's the same shit they did with Star Wars. You release Mandalorian, you wait a few months, you release Boba Fett, wait a few months, you release Obi-Wan. People are constantly talking about that shit and they're waiting for the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when they have stuff like that where it's collabing multiple superheroes together, I could totally see that. Well, oh no, yes, I have to say that even that series finale had to have been one of my favorite fucking Marvel cinematic enjoyments of like my favorites, because like the twist of all the fucking storyline in that last episode was so fucking well done.
Yep.
The bonds in the hearts, the actual reality of coming when they come back, the ending, the very ending, obviously, the fight scenes in it, like they did just so fucking excellent, and all around was probably shorter than any of the movies that they fucking done, and still I would say would be up there in some of those movies of being the S tier Marvel MCU from this universe that they're
Yeah.
building.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know, like that's a good breakdown I think of Moon Knight. And honestly, I feel like that's something that would have been really cool to like talk about other people, see other people's opinions about it, because I have yet to see anybody say something negative about Moon Knight or
No,
hear
I
anybody
haven't
say
seen
anything negative
anything
about
at
Moon
all
Knight.
negative about
It's
it.
not like, but it's not like I'm like not someone's gonna come straight up and say like Moon Knight was trash. Like obviously there's gonna be idiots that'll say that just to be controversial, you know, just to draw someone's attention. But I would be interested to see something where somebody would be like, I wish they would have done this better, and maybe I'm not seeing because I'm being too biased and how excited and how much I did enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of idea, not necessarily someone just come up straight up saying that shit was trash, because that would just be you just want attention.
Yeah, you're just an idiot. Shut up.
But no, for like legitimately though, like I will be amazed when the first person comes up to me and says that, and then like they don't have if they have a true justification, I'd be interested to see what it is. And if they don't have a true justification, it wouldn't surprise me, right? But like before, I think like I want to talk about the gaming industry because there's been a lot of shit like mumbling in the gaming industry. But like the other thing that big pop culture came out with Doctor Strange release was Disney's trailer reveal of Avatar 2, which I think, I don't know what they're calling it full title. It's like Avatar 2 Into the Water or something like that. I feel like that's something that like we probably
I'm listening, by the way. I'm trying to get this.
no, you're good. I was trying to think. I was actually trying to look at what the actual full title was, just out of my curiosity, because The Way of Water. That's what it is. Avatar 2: The Way of Water. So like, we can only say so much on this, right? Because the only thing they released so far was a trailer that really gave you
Nothing.
practically no story, right? Like it really, it
Hey,
like,
look, all I know is that they're making a second one and it's gonna have blue people in it again. That's all the fuck I know.
and they've clearly have had relations. That's that's
Yeah.
genuinely all that we've gotten out
They
of
got
that.
mixed babies. That's what I know.
But well, technically not, right? Because he actually fully like converts as an avatar.
True.
I don't. Anyways, whatever.
Still mixed.
Anyways, that's not the. So I was like you can't dive too much into this because there's really not enough meat out there yet. But I think the biggest thing I guess that I would talk about is the hype behind Avatar 2. That like I mean we've been waiting like 10 years now already as is. Maybe I'm probably a little off. It might be closer to 8 years. But the fact that like they finally released a fucking trailer has been kind of fresh.
Yeah.
In a sense. Like, but then it's like I don't want to. So you don't want to get too hyped because then you're at that same point where like you really don't know what the fuck they're doing with the film. It was made 2009, dude. The movie is 13 fucking years old, and they're just now fucking releasing a preview.
A preview.
It's like, good. You're not gonna watch the second one yet, but here's what's gonna be. And like, I don't know. I'm hyped about it because, once again, that's one of those movies that like, generally anybody who's saying it's a bad movie is just there to be drawing someone's attention, right? But I feel like the storyline of the first one was so much easier to actually feel like it was an enjoyable storyline because you were able to sit there and like they introduced Avatar, or I don't know what the actual planet is that they're on, but they introduced all of that to something that nobody that didn't read about it previously. That's not shit. Didn't read about it previously wouldn't know about it, right? So I don't know. I don't know if you have anything on Avatar 2. I just figured like that's a good.
Honestly, I don't, and I was trying to avoid it because I don't have any fucking clue what to say.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm just at that point where like I feel like the hype behind it was cool. The fact that Disney was smart enough to be like, we have it finally ready. We're gonna throw it out with Doctor Strange. Obviously, there's a lot that they can bring into it, but I don't know. I think they got a lot of hype from it. They were smart in that aspect, even though there's like nothing fucking behind it. They got way too much hype for that shit. Like there's people already like sitting there like, oh, can I get this movie already? But we don't gotta waste too much time on that. Obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and roll on that any longer. Yeah, exactly. So I said we go into the good old gaming industry. So first of all, don't have a Fortnite update. I'm gonna say this. I don't know if you saw the post that Josh put into my Discord. I actually thought you would think this was cool because I know you used to listen. I don't know if you still do, but Slipknot's coming to Smite.
I saw that.
Did you see that shit?
I did see that.
I'm
Not a fan.
I couldn't tell you one of their songs. Like I don't follow that kind of music and whatnot, but I don't know if you saw some of the skins, but some of the skins are actually pretty fucking badass. They did some pretty cool fucking designs for them. I don't know like what the correlation is if they have like music videos where they dress up like that, or if it was just they're heavy metal and they just gave them some cool art design for it.
I'm not sure, honestly. I feel like it's
But
not
that was-
very Christian though.
Well, you know. Well, that's too unfortunate. But like that in my aspect of like gaming, because I'm trying to get back into Smite when like that was just something that came to mind in that aspect. But obviously, the real big topic, in my opinion, is these companies coming out here, all being looks like everyone's trying to fucking sell. Sell. Buy. Today, Saturday. No, well, what the fuck, man?
Oh, that's too much work.
it's weird because it's like, did Microsoft's purchase of Activision make people go, maybe we could do that because the gaming industry is getting bought out? Or was it like the gaming industry's like in a hard phase right now where people are just like wanting to get out of it? Like companies, I guess. It's so confusing to me.
I
The
feel
big picture of it for me. Because if you look at like a lot of the games that have been released in the last 2 years, some of them been dog shit, first of all. Including AAA titles, which we already all know the main one. And then like
won't name any names.
Not gonna name any names, but has to do with battles in fields.
But you know who you are.
Has to do with battles that are conducted in fields. If
Yeah.
that portrays any mindset of what I might be talking about. But like the gaming industry's been kind of like shit.
Lackluster.
Yeah, it's
I
been
think COVID.
pretty much.
I think COVID was a huge part of that.
But
It
even
slowed down
still, like-
production of so many games, but even shit that was dropped before that, like Cyberpunk, was one of the most hyped games I've ever fucking seen. And came out. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was not what the fuck anybody expected it was gonna be.
It was way underwhelming for this.
Lackluster at the least. Yeah. Wait, did you play it?
Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. I bought it and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna wait for multiplayer to come up. They haven't released multiplayer yet, in case you were wondering. So I jumped on it, checked it out the first storyline. I'm like, yeah, but that's also me. I can't play solo player games. So I don't even say that I stopped playing it because of the game. I think I stopped playing it because I just get bored playing it myself. Right? Make my eyes for convention.
You get bored playing with yourself?
Playing games by myself.
Oh.
Big difference. Big difference.
Is it really though?
I don't know, actually. You know, it's weird. I ordered food and it was like, oh yeah, we're checking your order, and then now it's like, hey yo, your food's here.
You get food?
What?
You have to go get your food?
Not yet. I think it's the app's fucked up. But anyways, yeah. I don't like. So the reason I'm bringing up the company sales though is we had Warner Brothers already announced that they're trying to sell their fucking gaming studios, but they're not going to sell any of their IPO. They're going to give it out to, or not give it out, right? They're gonna like, I don't know how you would say that. They're like auction, I guess. Like, I don't know, because they're not buying it. They're just company's going to be able to fight over saying, hey, if you give us the IPO to create this, it's the same thing. Lucasfilms and Lucas Gaming did with Star Wars for EA, and now they stopped EA, which is a blessing. Yeah. There's been like
one was garbage.
2 good ones, and then the rest have been pretty fucking lackluster, and really some of them just being dog shit in general. I'm kind of like, I don't think Warner Brothers game studios. Okay, I shouldn't say that. So their game studios have released some really fucking top tier
Arkham?
games, and the sense of yes, the Arkham Asylum, that fucking shit alone, as a franchise, was killer, and the
amazing.
fact that they're working on.
Continuation of it.
Not only that, but they're the same people creating the
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights and the
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is crazy. But like, so just imagine someone buying them, and even if they stray away from the IPO of fucking Warner Brothers, I don't think that necessarily the DC IPO carried the Asylum too much to it. Like the actual production of that game was pretty stellar compared to some of the shit we've seen, especially even in newer years like last year.
Well,
So I think that
Arkham Asylum
like then
is still a better game than a lot of single player, solo like story open world games that there are. Right
which
now.
I think helps that it's Batman because boy was fucking
No, I'm Batman.
well fucking created in the franchise that they did. But yeah, I don't know. I think that in that aspect is cool, but I'm also really interested to see what they do with the IPO.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it'd be really fucking cool if Microsoft or Sony or Ubisoft got part of their IPO to make a fucking game, or if they would be smart, in my opinion, just give all 3 of them the opportunity, which is kind of what Lucasfilms did with Star Wars. They're giving multiple companies the opportunity now, and then they can see like, okay, this one fucking bombed it, this one fucking was killer, everyone fucking loved it, and then they could franchise it out better. I think that'll make the gaming industry a little bit more competitive too, in that sense.
Yep.
I think it'd be more interesting too. Wait, what? is, I don't know. Oh, okay. So I think the other portion I put in there in this topic area, I don't know if we didn't really talk about this, but this has nothing to do with Warner Brothers specifically, obviously, but with all these companies selling, it is interesting to see how the gaming industry, my mindset of how the gaming industry is going to go.
Oh.
So like,
Oh, you mean just the
you already know
general?
Discord was on leeway of like, hey, we want to sell. Sony kind of blocked that with one of their fucking things they did where they didn't buy it out, but they put a blockage by buying enough to where they said they couldn't sell to anybody. Which was super cheesy because they knew Microsoft was going to buy it, but strategic, but cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
Because Discord continues to fucking fail, then who knows how long they're going to be able to last in the sense of like actual monetary gains.
Yeah.
Discord's used by a fucking shit ton of people, but they don't have the monetary gains to make them to allow
I was
them
saying
to
that
continue to-
before. The only money that they make is off Nitro, and I mean, even though a lot of people have Nitro, I guarantee you there's probably at least I don't want to say a random number, but like most people probably
I would say
not using
over
Nitro.
60 to 70% of the users of Discord
Not
don't
using
pay for
Nitro,
Nitro.
yeah.
And it's probably even higher than that, honestly. That's like the safe mark of saying more than half of the Discord users don't pay for Nitro.
Yep.
And I get it, because if you offer something free, you're offering it free. So it's in your own fault as a company for doing that. But like, I mean, I have Nitro just because I kind of like some of the stupid small features,
I do
especially
too.
for having my own Discord.
Yep.
As a streamer, I think it's beneficial,
I
right?
like being able to upload bigger videos and
Higher quality streaming, like
higher
even if it's just with
quality
friends,
streaming. Yeah.
stuff pretty cool. And then some of like the little small features, the more like emotes and the more gifs and no, not gifs, but like the more emotes that you like, personal emotes you can do,
Yep.
and or emojicons and stuff, emotes, whatever. Fuck, I don't know why I said emotes. But I am curious as to where this will take the gaming industry in the sense of like, are some of these other more supportive softwares and companies, are they going to start selling out too? Are we going to see stuff like that? Because like Microsoft already got rid of Mixer, and now that they are more aligned with Facebook Gaming, are you going to see something happen with some of these streaming platforms? Because I know there's another one that's supposed to be up on the rise, and I know YouTube's actually grown a shit ton now. Which obviously YouTube will never sell because it's owned by Gmail
Yeah.
or Google.
Google. Yeah. I actually,
And YouTube is not based on gaming. Google doesn't have the gaming atmosphere that everyone else does have, so it's not like they would sell it, but like with YouTube's growth being pretty extensive pretty quickly with streaming, like live streaming, obviously YouTube's always been fucking huge. It was, it was a landmark in our sharing of social platforms. Like it was clearly a fucking massive move, but streaming has grown a lot. So I guess like I wanted to just talk about that in the aspect of like, I'm curious as to what some of these platforms, some of these companies, some of these developers, some of these software programs, like if these companies are going to start getting bought out too in order to support some of these big companies that are buying out all these game development companies and production companies and stuff.
I'm just hoping they buy out my page.
It'd be kind of cool, I guess.
Send
I'd
me a
take
big
it.
old bad check.
I wouldn't
For my
sell.
whole,
That's my
300 and something followers.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I sold out for $185.
It's like that one kid that was like making millions of dollars that like somewhere in
India.
I think it was like South Korea, I think,
Oh.
bought their page for us like,
Wait, what?
yeah, I'll have to look it up and we can talk about it next one. But yeah, there was like some kid, like child, that did some sort of like, I think it was toy reviews or something, and some South Korean company bought that channel because it was so successful
Yeah.
for like millions of dollars too.
Yeah,
Like not even like
he probably got-
$20,000. Like
His parents,
Millions
I
of
mean, got a
dollars.
fat ass check.
yeah, for real. Like, hey, thanks for the car, Johnny.
It's like there's another TikTok channel where they got like real famous over like the kids reviewing shit or doing like little dances, but then like they did like a whole there's like other TikTokers and YouTube channels that like reviewed this and basically were showing like how the parents were living like rich as fuck off of like the kids doing everything on this like TikTok channel.
I mean, they obviously help with a lot. So,
Yeah.
like, obviously, but at the same time, like,
First of
you
all,
should also-
technically you're not even supposed to be able to post on there unless you're 18 anyways. So
exactly. That's also a good point.
is it like against their TOS?
Okay.
So if you want to be
Yeah.
political, we'll just ban you. How about that? How about these nuts?
Them apples. How about them delicious Granny Smith apples?
Netflix is dying.
Yo, I actually saw something. Yeah, it's like this is a good part of this discussion, obviously. So I saw something yesterday that Netflix actually came out and was like, "We're gonna try to push along our ads.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to push that out as quickly as possible because we understand that that's what the people want." I'm like, no one's sitting here. I'm sorry, but I have not heard one person be like, "Man, I just wish Netflix would add an ad feature to lower my
Yeah.
costs." Like, no one wants that shit.
No.
I pay $5 extra on other subscriptions a month just so I don't have to deal with fucking ads like Hulu and fucking Discovery Plus, which I just did that one.
YouTube for me.
Yeah, and I mean YouTube's a big one for a lot of people because YouTube spams ads like a fucking disease, which is annoying.
Spams, and then on top of that,
But that's how they're really
there's a
growing.
lot of video. Yeah, that's how, I mean that's how they make money. But and then so like on top of the fact that people will put fucking 2 or 4 ads in their fucking video if it's a long one, then they also do their paid promotion in the video. And then
Yeah.
you can't block out, so then I'm
Then-
paying to get ads taken out of the fucking video to still sit there and watch literally a 2-minute paid promotion. I'm like, bro, I cannot fucking escape a goddamn. I just want to watch what I want to watch. I'm paying already to not watch ads. Why do I need to watch more ads? And
I mean,
then-
I guess like in the sense of if you're watching a content creator's video, I could see why it's more justified. You're
They're
watching their
getting
ad
paid.
because you're supporting them already by watching the content, so you're kind of just
that's
getting
the
more
point of
support.
paying for
money for
YouTube Premium is that I'm
that.
supporting
Yeah, but you know,
them by watching
YouTube can't
them.
say you can't put ads in your content. That's like that would just be too controversial, and people would be like, "All right, fuck you." But yes, I
But
get what you're saying.
oh, so they're in promotions, they're paid promotions. Yeah, I mean, of course not, but it's just it's my point is
It is like contradicting. Like
YouTube
I'm gonna pay
without
whatever money
YouTube
it is
Premium.
to-
If you're like me and like Damien too, who watches basically
Yeah.
only YouTube, bro, without YouTube Premium, it is fucking annoying because there's already enough paid promotions.
Every 3
like,
minutes you get an ad,
there's
plus you have
probably-
intro
there's-
ads,
At
and you
this
have
point, any big channel, even decently sized channel, has paid promotions. And they
yeah,
do-
and it's just
then-
it might be something weird, but
yeah, like Manscaped is like a super popular one. Like there's a bunch of super
One's all
popular
over the
ones.
place.
Like yeah, but like the problem is like so many channels have that shit that like you also have all the ads that come with this. So I can sit there and watch fucking 2 hours of YouTube, a bunch of different videos, and every
Just
single video is
Godzilla
gonna have
videos.
multiple fucking ads, multiple fucking paid promotions, multiple ads after the paid promotions towards the end of the video. Then as soon as the video ends, they're smart about this. They do it so like if you watch the video all the way through, as soon as the video ends, a fucking ad starts and there's no way to cancel it, so you
Yeah,
back
it's
all
not
the way out.
Yeah.
So annoying, dude.
yeah. But anyway, so the top of Netflix though, like seriously, them adding ads, like they genuinely believe this is gonna be like their fucking saving grace. Apparently, like people are gonna be like, you know, I think I'll buy $8 Netflix now to have ads in my own fucking shit movies.
Yeah. I think
Like,
that they
they're
missed.
losing
I think
all
they missed the
IPO.
part where they realized that their content was severely
The failure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
their
failure.
content
Their
was a
content
failure.
can't compete with what fucking Disney's putting out. Pretty much Disney alone really is the big
Disney's
country.
killing the game. You know,
But also, you even have all these other ones that are still doing like half to quarter to half the price of what fucking Netflix charges. And it's like, okay, well, why would I want that when I could at least get still a bunch of fucking content that might be still somewhat mediocre like Netflix, but at least it's fucking half the price. That's why I literally switched to
I can
Discovery
watch
Plus.
YouTube, Twitch, and Disney Plus, and never use another service provider. Although I still have Netflix, I
Okay,
still
look.
have Hulu, I still have HBO
Well, you
Max,
have,
but
like,
I could
HBO,
live
which is-
without all of those. I could live without
HBO
all
has grinded up a lot though, and honestly, they've I think they're still a little more overpriced than other stuff, but I feel like that they've done really well with bringing
They're
up their
really-
content. Where I believe their content's above Netflix.
They're
is
really
what I'm trying to get.
adult-centered, too.
Yeah, well, that's also true though. Yeah, they are way over out of the field in that perspective. But even like what's the other one? There's an I can't think about it right now. But like
Paramount Plus.
Amazon Prime though, they're doing really good at creating their own content though.
There's some good
aren't
Amazon
doing it
shows.
fast enough. They're not doing it fast enough, but they have released every show that they have released that has been like advertised pretty well has had a very large viewership and following back behind it.
The thing
And like
about
actually
Amazon,
like truly thought it was good and like, hey, can you give me more? Whereas Netflix has had like these seasons where they run a season of something and it comes popular just because people are, you know, oh, I want to be like my neighbor who watched this and talked about it, and now I just want to watch it, like the stupid fucking Tiger King shit. But like Netflix, like Amazon has actually released shit where people like watch a season, like, okay, can we get more of this shit? And like they're actually putting out good, like top tier content, but also you know they have way more money than probably
Way more.
some stuff.
The other
But
thing about Amazon too is you gotta remember, if you got Prime, you got like the faster shipping for free. You got fucking
music, if you
like
want to
Twitch
use it.
Twitch subs, music, fucking
All the Twitch drops, which like
Twitch
as a gamer
drops,
like me, I use a
yeah.
lot of Twitch drops. I mean, I collect a lot of Twitch drops, I should say.
Yeah, I don't really, but I do know that
Unless Smite does a lot of them, so that's why
yeah.
too, though.
Amazon is obviously in its own like league as far as that shit goes.
And price
but,
wise too, it's one of the cheapest fucking subscriptions
yeah,
that gives you a bulk subscription. It's not like Apple has the bulk subscription, but then it's you literally paying like $30 a fucking month for
yeah, music,
Apple
storage.
Music, which in my opinion, worse than
Apple TV.
Spotify. Apple TV, which has only released a few shows that have been popular, but I feel like they're more adult based, like good storyline, but like content is kind of boring at times. And then you have the arcade, which I mean, I guess mobile gaming, but like it's completely different subscription based, but where it's more like triple to quadruple the price of Amazon Prime, with a quarter of the true content that is provided as a fucking user.
Yeah, I use
In my
Apple
opinion.
Music religiously. Like that's actually the only music streaming service I use. But then I pay for storage for like iCloud storage, and then
Well,
I
I do
pay
that, but it's
for
like
Apple
that.
TV too,
Like-
actually. But I feel like I just keep paying for it because I just never like
Canceled
canceled it. But like I actually don't watch
Go to your
anything on.
settings and you go to your subscriptions.
I
and
know how to
cancel
do it. I just haven't done
Yeah.
it.
That's
I
because
feel like there's gonna be. I feel like there's.
That's a waste.
Bro, I do this with everything. I feel like there's gonna be something that I'm gonna want to watch, and then I'm gonna cancel it. Like say today I canceled it, and then in like
And then
6
you
months
just
they're gonna
re-
release
fuck
something. I'm
up.
like, fuck, I want to watch that shit. So then I gotta get it again anyways. Which I know is a stupid mindset, but it's like it's not that much money. I really don't. I mean, that's what it is. I'm just gonna pay
It's
for
not.
it.
I guess it's not. Especially the standalone subscription's really not that bad. It's when you get the big bundle where they like overcharge you because they think that you're using everything. Because they have like the fitness one too, which I'm not gonna lie is actually a really good concept. They were smart about that because they're the first ones to do something like that. That's like Nike had something I think, but I think
Yeah,
it's already like
yeah,
died.
Yeah, it's dead. I
Uh,
don't use that. I don't use arcade, and I don't use. There's something else too that comes with that bundle that I don't use.
probably just the fitness one because that's the only thing I can think of.
Fitness and arcade.
Music, TV, fitness,
I use
arcade,
music. I use storage. I don't use
storage. Yeah,
TV,
that's
but I
them.
have it.
That's all they are. And then there's the family sharing, but that's I don't
obviously.
think that. I
yeah,
think it's
don't
just
have
the
that.
cost of the group. I don't think that's actually.
Yeah,
I have the storage, but I literally do the dollar storage because I don't need that much storage. I just need more
Yeah.
than what my phone offers.
I think
For the
I
basic
do
pack.
the same one, the 99 cents or whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like. Back to Netflix though. No, I don't think the ads is a big brain concept. I think they're missing the mark
Yeah.
very, very largely on this one.
They're out of touch. They're definitely out of touch.
They're too worried about pushing their agenda of their content versus creating content that people want, and it's starting to actually kick their fucking ass. I know it's like some people are scared about some of they're actually getting a lot of rights for stuff that people haven't been interested in make movies or TV shows of, and they're worried that they're gonna go down the dog shit hill too, like Resident Evil, what's the fucking other video game that
Doctor Strange.
no, I almost said that, and I think that's why you said that because I said Doc. I was
Yeah,
about
I
to
know.
fucking put out there for some fucking reason. I hope Netflix never gets hold of Doctor Strange.
Who's doing Who's doing the Uncharted movie? Do you know? Is that
Sony.
like? Is it Sony?
It's Sony. Sony owns the game.
No,
would
I know
assume
they
it's
own the
Sony.
game, but I didn't know if they were gonna.
Sony Films is like their own fucking thing. I would
Yeah.
assume it's Sony, but I could be wrong. No, the fucking
You were Tom
the
Holland's
medieval
playing it,
one
right?
where he kills monsters, but he is considered a monster.
Oh, The
They
Witcher.
have the fucking
Oh,
Witcher, yeah, like,
that is a good show that's on Netflix.
that's a great
though.
fucking show.
That's
but
an
it's like-
amazing show.
It's like they have like very few really fucking good shows,
Yeah.
and then they don't put in the time and effort to make those grow quicker, and they put out all this junk bullshit, and that's what's fucking killing their content.
It seems like they also focus on putting a lot of old shit on there for like you can
Yeah,
go watch
just
basically all of The
recycling.
Office on Netflix, which is
Not anymore, but yeah,
oh not anymore. Oh yeah, it's on Apple TV
Peacock
now.
got it.
And
Peacock.
Peacock. Yeah, Peacock.
Yeah.
That's right. I watch it. Oh, that's what else I have. Peacock. But I watch. That's what I
And the
use
ad.
Apple TV for. So that you look it up on Apple TV, it takes you to it, and but then it says watch it through
I love
Peacock.
Apple TV for that reason.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's the
sick.
same as like Amazon. Like if you're
Yeah.
the TV that you're using right now has all the apps. It's the same concept, but Amazon,
Yeah.
like Apple, in the app is actually very fucking organized in that sense. We can look up anything and they will tell you exactly where it's at, and you can go
Yep.
straight to it.
Yep.
I actually used to use that more often, but now I don't use it as much anymore. But that is actually a cool feature. That,
Yep.
I do like. And then they're also like punishing the user access across multiple devices, and I think that that's also
That's
once
good.
again you're missing the mark on this one. You're telling people now that you can't share with people, and that was one of the big things that they actually were flexing about
They
the
were
fact of
winning
like
on that,
certain
yeah.
certain tiers of buying was to be shared,
Yeah.
and now they're completely removing that. You know that, right?
I know.
Like the $20 one is still not supposed to be shared now at all. It's strictly the quality of film that you're getting. So the 4K, the 1080, and the 720 or something,
Yeah.
something in that.
And you're getting the ads. Now they're gonna add. They're talking about adding.
Well,
that
that's only
to
for the lower
tiers.
tiers. Yeah, whatever
No,
tier
but
that
that's what I'm
is.
saying. So the tiers are they're gonna decide
they're
whether you have
fucking
ads
like
and
60
whether you're
tiers.
fucking. So yeah, they're gonna have whether you have ads and then what
Right.
resolution you want. I'm like, bro,
For $4, you can watch 90% ads and 10% content.
at 4080p.
4080p. And it just rises like $3 for every tier, and it goes up to $21. And it's like, hey,
You
guys
only have
probably
7 1-minute ads for every 30-minute show, and you get 4880p streaming. It's gonna be great, dude.
wanna get the 1080p with ads. It was only
That's
$8
only
more.
$19.99. If you want
It's like
4K
fucking
with
like
no ads, it's only gonna be $61 a month.
Yeah, for real though.
damn.
They are definitely missing the mark on this.
Yeah,
one.
they're gonna
They-
kill themselves in game.
Which I think is kind of. I don't think it's a good thing, but I hope this actually motivates Netflix to be like, hey, we have so much fucking money, and we are not pitting out shit. So let's actually start pitting out shit that people want to watch, and maybe then it'll revitalize them. But
Their
and if
stock
they don't do
sucks,
that,
too.
I could give two fucks about them. Yeah, the market actually same thing to Disney. Their market fucking worth went down so fucking much.
Well,
bro.
everything's dropping right now. We're in a recession, but yeah.
No, but I mean, like, everything dropping is different from seeing some stuff hit half mark that is a Fortune 500 Fortune 500 company.
Fortune
Netflix should not
$500.
be at a half mark. Disney should not be at a half mark. Like, that is insane.
Bro, I already know I watch. You already know I watch this shit every day. So
Yeah, but I'm just so like that. I think hopefully that's awakening them, but it's obviously not yet because their mindset is, okay, well we'll remove you sharing and we'll remove from you being able to, or we'll give you ads to give you lower prices. Like,
they're like, yeah, due to COVID and inflation and all that shit, people stopped paying their subscriptions. Like, we didn't stop paying $7 a month because it was
Yeah.
$7 a month. We stopped paying $7 a month
we
because
stopped
it
going
turned
out
into
to
$20
dinner
a month.
sometimes.
We didn't go out to eat as often and didn't fucking go to the bar. Like, we
Sorry,
didn't stop
I
paying
didn't
$7 a month for
cancel
fucking Netflix.
subscriptions 'cause of COVID,
No,
bro.
if anything, I
that
actually
shit's
added
wild.
more subscriptions because of COVID.
That's actually a really fucking good point.
I-
Too,
I
'cause
did. I
too,
didn't
actually.
have
No, I did
HBO
too. I did
Max,
too. Yeah.
And I
No,
didn't
you're not
have
wrong.
Hulu.
I got
before.
Peacock and Discovery, and then I have HBO share.
Actually, I got my own Netflix because of COVID, because I was using yours, remember? And then I got my own now.
Yeah, so like that's actually like a true.
And now I
that's
want
like
to
good
cancel
troll.
it.
Yeah, but I didn't think about that though. That's actually very accurate though. There just had to have been a bump in that shit because people were stuck fucking home. I mean, if you, especially for people that aren't like us, that aren't gamers, that are like, what am I supposed to do? I'll just watch TV. There's a lot of people that literally all they did was fucking watch TV for 8 or 9 hours a day when we were
Watch
literally
TV,
locked down
watch,
for
watch
fucking weeks,
YouTube,
months.
watch TikTok, bro.
Yeah,
That's
and
why
so,
that
like,
shit went so off too. I promise you, is because nobody
Yeah,
had
now
shit
that's-
to do. Nobody was working. Nobody could go out in public.
That's
nobody
what
could
happened
eat.
actually. It was everybody bought Netflix subscriptions. So they watched this 12 hours of good content Netflix has, and now everyone's like, hey, yo, we're done watching that. You guys got any good other good content?
Fuck, dude.
We give you 12 hours. Is that not enough?
I paid for 720p, dude.
I paid $9 for 720. You know that's like legit like $9.
I
right?
know.
Like
Remember
9,
back
15,
in the
and
day,
20 or
bro, when
something like that, bro?
Netflix was like $4.99, bro, and you could have 5 people on that shit, and it was the
Now
best
they're like
quality.
$20. You're by yourself. It's 4K though. Enjoy.
Now, you know what I
I
have
don't know,
for
I
free with 4K? YouTube.
But the thing
If
is,
I
it's
want
not
no
even like.
ads, $4.99 4K video. On
But
YouTube
part of the
all day long.
lockdown is actually by device too, not by concurrent people watching. Oh, I thought you were trying to play that out loud. I don't know. I
No,
saw
no,
the
no,
video,
no.
but I didn't.
I actually didn't mean to turn off. I meant to hit the back button, but I'm not used to this.
I just can't
controller
wait to
yet.
watch Netflix when we get done with this stream, bro. I got so much good content on there, bro. Paid $20 a month to watch one show every fucking year. It's insane to me, dude.
They're so
But
dumb.
paying $240 a year if you have the top tier plan to watch literally maybe 1 or 2 shows a year. Like that's if you truly think about the mathematical impact of your money to time used, that is insane. I pay $60 for a game that I will literally put in weeks of gameplay, which means that I could get 4 fucking games for the same price I pay Netflix for literally months of gameplay. Like,
Yep.
if you actually truly look at the numbers, it is mind-boggling how much people waste on Netflix in the sense of like, well, they're gonna release this season in 2 seasons, in 2 years.
They're gonna release it in 2024. We'll be able to watch 7 episodes, 7 43-minute episodes
And then
in
there's a poor suckers that died
1080p.
before then too, and then they just waste all that money waiting
By
for
the
this to
time the
come
season
out.
comes out, I've only spent $700 on Netflix.
But damn, they're good putting out all this other shit content.
And they definitely released a movie about political shit that I'd love to see.
It's not even like I get people's concern with like the political agenda that they're pushing has like been really stupid. Like they need to widen the range. Just put out what the fuck you want. The problem is even the stuff that isn't political is actually dog
Yes.
shit. Like literally one of the most popular fucking things they had during COVID was Tiger fucking King.
Yep.
That shit was garbage. People were just so obsessed with I want to be like that person who watched it. That it was interesting, or because it was so fucking extreme. But in reality, no one in their sane mind is going back and be like, I can't wait to watch Tiger King again.
Yeah,
That was a good TV
You
series.
saw that? I think it's on Peacock that they made.
Her fucking show.
No, did they? No, they made a. Yeah. No,
She's
no.
getting a show. I don't know who it is, but
No,
someone is doing a
they
show.
made
with her.
like an actual drama show about Tiger King with people playing all the characters to tell the story of Tiger King, which
Does
we've
not
already seen
surprise
in a
me.
documentary style show.
And people
No way.
literally were just like, yeah, they were like trying to write on that shit. But people, then they were like, wait, you guys actually didn't really like it that much? You guys were just doing it for the memes that came out of it and
Literally
stuff?
for the
Like, nah.
memes, it was because it was something to talk about. It's because
They
people were
wasted
bored as
probably
fuck for fucking
fucking-
2 years.
Hundreds of $1,000s on that fucking production too. Fucking dumb.
Like millions.
Dumb, bro. I don't know. It's a TV show and it's probably no-name actors. It'd be close. It'd be very low millions, but possibly if so. But yeah.
Enough to make it not worth it.
But speaking of dying,
CNN
Netflix
Plus.
obviously on his way. CNN Plus, bro.
What can you even?
Who?
Is that site even up right now?
I think it's shut down officially. I'm pretty sure it's shut down. Like it literally does not exist. But I could be wrong. Let's check it out. Actually, let's go. I don't even know where the plus key is. Bro.
Yeah, it doesn't. It won't pull up anything. You can't pull up CNN Plus.
Yeah, it just takes you to
CNN.
the stories on CNN about how it's fucking dead. Yeah, we are. This is our.
Oh yeah. The
child.
first thing that pulls up is what happened to CNN Plus.
Yeah, exactly. CNN Plus. With a short-lived video streaming service that launched on March 29th, 2022. And it literally died March, April. Dude, it didn't even last a month. Holy fuck. Okay. That's why we're talking about that, right? Like, literally, you released a subscription
1 month.
based on TV. Nobody, first of all, nobody fucking...
Nobody's just saying why though. We know why, but nobody on like
Nobody
online-
wants to
nobody
admit
wants
to it because
say why.
CNN owns so much in the fucking media platforms. CNN is dying because nobody wants to watch old school fucking news. First of all, it's way too biased. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, there's always bias in it. It's too much fucking driven by someone's views and someone's politics that's not actually true news. So when you create an entire subscription about people's opinions, no one's gonna fucking want to watch that. Like, I don't want to watch someone talk to me about their fucking opinions on a political climate. Like, give me something cool at least to watch or funny to fucking watch about opinions and shit. Like, don't just let me sit here and listen to somebody talk about how somebody is such a horrible person just because I don't agree with them.
Yo, they said that Warner Media executives expected CNN Plus to reach 2 million subscribers in the first year, and they had their CEO apparently. It says, okay, so for some CNN employees, it was the first time they'd heard from Licht, the CEO, but awkwardly for scores of other, it wasn't because they had met him just 2 days earlier when he toured the New York headquarters, and he made a point to stop by the 16th floor, which had recently been converted from Turner Broadcasting into the floor of CNN Plus, for 2 days later for him to come back and announce that they were shutting it down.
Yeah.
He shook hands with the employees and whoever happened to be in the office that day with no hint that 2 days later he'd tell them that the streaming service would be shuttered.
Well, it was, yeah.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, this is a great bench. I'm so glad, so happy to have you here. Long career. I wish you the best. And
It's been nice having you for 2 days, but
literally 2 days
we
later,
really
it comes back.
learned
Yeah,
a
by the
lot
way,
from
let's
you.
shut this shit the fuck down, dude. We had 7 subscribers. 7.
Did you realize that was literally us in the CEO
That
office?
was all of us here.
We checked the profiles. None of you fuckers even had one,
Yeah.
and you work here.
Jonathan didn't even fucking subscribe. If you want to blame anybody for losing your job, go blame Jonathan.
Bro, you
I
literally
subscribed. Jonathan didn't. I can pull it up right
Yeah,
now.
but don't check the logs actually,
Yeah,
because
I might not have.
either. Because actually, maybe I hope my wife did. I don't know. Yeah, for real though, like I don't know, dude. I kind of like it though because I think it's showing like people are truly like, hey, we're over your fucking bullshit with just news in general and this shit, and then people are more like podcasts are getting fucking larger with that kind of scenery because they're more freedom. I should say more freedom of speech because everything's freedom of speech. Anything you say is freedom of speech. That's why you have the right to say it. But they're more unbiased in some stances. There's obviously a lot that aren't, but there are a lot of podcasts out there that are very unbiased where they bring up every fucking side of the aisle. And all these major news outlets that are owned by billionaires are starting to die because people are realizing that they're all built one fucking sided. And I think that was, in my opinion, I think that's a win in
That's why
our
Joe Rogan
society
is
of
so
showing what-
successful.
Yeah, because he was
if you
very.
actually watch him, he's very left lane on most things, but he's just enough on the right lane and just enough willing to have conversations and listens to people's ideas on the other side to where it feels like if you're watching him talk to somebody about pro-gun ideas, you feel like, oh, he understands that there's two sides of this argument. He understands why people would want this.
Yeah.
Unlike some news outlets where when somebody comes on there, they just straight up shame them. No, you should never own a gun. You're a fucking psychopath.
You're dead.
You're a fucking
You're
psychopath.
trash.
You're dead. Get out of here. You're dog water.
Yeah.
You're trash. You're
Exactly,
garbage.
dude.
And like that's the problem with me. Like I could watch anything as long as it's not super biased. I can watch anything. don't care
I
who it
like
is.
stuff that where they give the option of both aisles. They let
That's the whole
people
point of a
actually express their
democracy.
opinions.
The whole point of a
Gosh,
democracy.
Some people don't know that, but yes, we've talked about this too though already. I mean, but I just like the fact that like CNN Plus Dying clearly showed that people are like, especially because
Didn't want to hear that shit.
no, even when you think about it this way, like our generation, when we like you got a house, did you get television, live television?
Fuck.
Okay.
Cable?
Do you know?
No.
Do you know any
know.
person?
I know. I already know the statistic. It's
So,
down like
no.
95% or some crazy shit
But
for
so
people
when
under
you
the age of 30.
see they're trying to shift to the modern age of how
course.
people watch stuff, and it dies. It's showing that people are sick of this bullshit, and they're like, "Hey, we're done. Pump the brakes, there, Johnny. I'm good, man."
Whoa.
And like, I think that that's also a big hitter for them. They're realizing that they don't have a future in the way that the generations are going. They realize that CNN will eventually fucking die unless they reevaluate themselves internally. And it's the same shit that's coming to Netflix. Unless Netflix puts out good fucking content that people are like, it's worth paying money, not $20 for, but paying money for to stay on and watch, they will die.
Yep.
Everybody has the option of dying in a capitalistic world because people get to vote for companies with their money. And it's starting to show in the modern technical age of how people are like, hey yo, you could easily do this, but we don't want it. We're done. We're done.
You're
You're
out
done.
of here.
But yeah,
Nice try, guy.
I think that's. I don't know if there's anything you want to add on to that, but I think that's just like all I've got for today's cast of the potting.
Yeah, that's actually
The good old rapper.
probably a good time to wrap it up. I obviously agree with everything on that end.
Always rap it before you tap it. Joe.
Yeah, always rap before you tap it. Lick it before you stick it.
All right, we're gonna calm down. Two's enough. Two's enough. One was pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a
I
good
think
point.
the main thing to take away from today was, obviously the future of the MCU is looking pretty fucking golden. Future of DC is still trash.
Same as what it's been for the past few years. So we're excited to see nothing happen.
They did say that they are already making another Batman, a sequel to that Batman movie with Robert Pattinson being Batman. So I'm
I
excited
think
to see
that
what
one
they
did
do
good
with it.
enough, but let's be honest, that's where it's again, DC's not changing, because if you look at the history of DC films, who's had the best reputation, or the only reputation, it's been fucking Batman. But no, I am excited to see what they're going to go with that one, yeah.
Yeah. You
And
need to
then-
watch that. for sure.
I know, I do. It's the 3 hour thing is honestly the killer to me because everyone said there's been downtime, and I'm like, do I really want to spend 3 hours watching a fucking movie that I'm already on the line of like, is it really relevant? But
When you get time, watch it. But yeah, no reason.
I don't
to
got
rush
time. I
into
play
it.
video games. That's what I want to
get
spend my
it.
time on.
What I do is I you know how I watched it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I would play video games. Obviously, I get off and I go lay down. Usually, I watch YouTube. But what I did was
Yeah.
I put it on until I fell asleep, and then the next night I picked up where I remembered I
That's
left
probably
off.
exactly
I did
what
that
will
like,
happen to me
it took
because
me
I'm
like
like,
3 nights. I'm not even bullshitting.
yeah,
It took
you
me like
hit
3
an
nights to
hour
finish
every
it.
night, and then you get your 3 hour film done over 3 nights,
Yeah.
like some fucking 80-year-old dude. Anyways, where was I?
It's not because I couldn't. It's just because I didn't want to. Because I would be doing other shit. But right
Not that it
before-
was bad.
No, it wasn't that
Yeah,
it was
no,
bad at
I'm-
all. I literally would just wait till I was dog tired to put it on.
I'm the same way though. No, I actually probably will do that. Pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think the atmosphere of the gaming industry is definitely shifting. I think if there's going to be some interesting shit, I hope it doesn't fucking get worse because big companies are buying all these companies. I hope that they're able to actually capitalize on it. And then the streaming industry is getting so competitive that people are starting to realize that you can't just put shit out there thinking that you're going to be able to last forever and keep your name forever. So
Yep.
that is the lock and load of this caster. So, hey, yo, you're going to blow that thing?
Boom!
Jesus Christ, he's violent. But yeah, so everyone have a good weekend if you're watching this on release day. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching on YouTube. If you want, leave some comments, even if it's in regards to this video or what you want to see in the next video or even in the next podcast, depending on when you watch it. We have a lot to talk about, but we are more than happy to talk about what other people want to talk about. And if you want to join the live stream on Twitch through them on Fridays, try to keep it 3 p.m. Eastern. That's what we're trying to roll off of. Then join the Twitch. You could join in on the conversation as we talk about our topics, even if it's stuff that you might not know about. I mean, I'd be able to throw in some concepts or do a little Google good searching and see what you want to bring in. But do appreciate you watching. Do appreciate you
For sure,
joining
for
in.
sure.
Appreciate
I
our subbers.
appreciate you for who you are.
You are appreciated.
You're a beautiful soul. Jesus loves you. We love you.
You are so
And Mr. Monopoly Man back there loves you too. Even though you can't
Nobody
fucking see
appreciates you better than I do. Believe me, I am appreciative of you. You got a little Alexander on the thing. Alexander appreciates you.
that. Yeah.
Monopoly guy appreciates you.
Monopoly guy.
So-
appreciates you.
Actually, it's not Monopoly because
the
money
guy-
bag dude,
Money bag man
money bag guy.
with a monocle.
Just in DZ Films.
All right, yo.
Hey, yo.
Peace.
Yeah, peace out, everyone.
Talk to y'all
Have a good
next
one.
week. Have a good one.